Welcome back to Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is the 19th of June, 2025. It's a Thursday evening. We're about to dive into Decklist of the week that I've actually been quite excited to play. As much as I don't know if it's going to work as well for me as this magic generally works with Wenjong. How's everyone doing tonight? Pause the music now. It was technically playing on 0 volume. Sometimes it just sneaks across the whole stream. Hey, neither. Yo, how's it going? How's your Thursday? Jessica, hey, how are you doing as well? Welcome to the stream. Good evening, Andre. Good evening, Supernaut. I trust you are doing well. It's been a week. It continues on. We won't do Andre gut update, I don't think. But we're fine. We're doing, could be better, could be worse. Yeah. Hello, peeps. Best thing about Thursday is catching Métropole live. Nelson, how you doing? Happy Thursday. Excited for dinner plus stream. Roshni, what you got for dinner? Got something good? Did you bring enough to share for the whole class? Hey, Paul. Hey, Andre. Hey, all. It's been a while. Hopefully you're doing well. I haven't been able to come out to Tuesdays. I don't know. I guess you don't often go up to the Tuesday casuals, but yeah. I think people are meeting up on the regular. It's getting warm too. It's harder to do this sort of stuff, I feel, but I'm susceptible to that. Hey, lost my thumbs. Issuaq. Issuaq for sure. This is the Wenjong Classic, who won OTG going undefeated with the most honest Issuaq deck. Issuaq is a deck that has only, as of now, this is the first ever event I think Issuaq has ever won, particularly like a competitive event, probably of a size, that's some arbitrary size. This is probably the first one it's ever won. And now that Wenjong hasn't come close or done really well playing Issuaq. This is an identity you don't see a lot of. It's an identity when it came out I barely played. It's just not for me. And I feel like this ID text, the sort of ID text that fires once, if at all, it doesn't make me really excited. I like to fire my ID every single turn. So your ID text needs to be really good. And technically this is a good text. It says whenever you score an agenda that you did not install or advance this turn, you get to place a power counter on this identity. You have to remember to do that. That is an optional trigger. And each hosted power counter, you need 1 fewer agenda points to win the game. 1 less agenda point to win the game. So the idea is that if you score at a 5-3, and then your second agenda, you score at another 5-3. And I'm kind of surprised the deck is only running 1. Oh, it's actually not running any copies of Vulnerability Audit. I feel like Vulnerability Audit makes a lot of sense in this deck. I don't know why there's 3 2s in the list. But the idea is that you score at a 5-3, and then your second 5-3, you single advance it. On the following turn, it gets 1 advancement from something like a La Costa, and then like you double seamless, I guess. I guess you don't have to pre-advance it. And then suddenly you go from 3 points to winning the game, which is a powerful effect. And what Wenjong's been doing for the last year or so is like playing different kinds of Issuaq. Some of the Issuaqs had kill threats, some were playing punitive counter-strike, some were playing, I think that's mostly it. Back in the day, some of the ice was a bit hurtful. Things like Daniela saw play in the decks. We used to have the Wenjong special, which was like data loop into an enemy. Both those cards are not on this deck anymore. This is like the most honest version. And as much as like in the Swiss rounds where you're playing with closed deck lists and open deck lists, this did perform quite well. The text being optional always makes me think, yeah, I think that happened. I'm pretty sure that Wenjong lost a game, unfortunately, at Worlds because he forgot to fire this year. I think I heard that. That's obviously not a great spot to be in, but if you forget to fire this, it is a trigger that, in theory, the runner's playing around it, so you can't rewind it. So that happens for sure. Vegan hot dog and fries, not too bad. I've got other stuff on Tuesdays usually, but it's off for the summer. I may be back to Tuesdays. Haven't been in many moons. Yeah, well, hey, you and I both then, I suppose. We got to make it out. What a fine title. There's Wenjong. Wenjong, again, has been playing this for a long time. And I think it's just going to play this better than any of us. That's for sure. Just kind of sticking to this sort of play pattern and this sort of idea of putting things in a remote server and being aggressive to some extent. The ice is not bad. We do have, you know, we're not playing Votu, we're playing Bran, but the ice is pretty good. You get some weird ice, like Empiricist hasn't really popped off in the meta. I think it's fine. I think Vampire, Nasa, Natini, those like mid-range code gates are looking pretty good in the modern meta. You have the cheap barriers like Tattoo and Samasamun that are doing fantastically. And then our operations on 2 particular planograms, kind of fascinating. I feel like a lot of these decks kind of just need a bit of burst economy or some burst card draw, and this kind of gets you there too. Lets you refill your hand, which is nice. We're on 3 Anoetics because we're just not messing around. This card is really good. I don't know how many pinholes people are playing. I'm seeing less and less people play 2 pinholes, sometimes 1, sometimes nothing. And then we have our economy of both either Charlotte, which ideally is getting on the La Costa, so we get advanced for free, or we have the Regolith and we go from there, which is pretty good. Played Issuaq a few times and its abilities never fired for me. Hope to see it work today. Yeah, I think when Issuaq came out, there was like a bunch of ideas what you were meant to do, right? One of the ideas is you can just mitosis out agendas. So the idea, if you put mitosis and you just put cards on the table, they don't know if it's a trap or if it's an agenda. And in theory, that makes you score to 7 faster. You can fire Issuaq twice and win on 5. That's an option. That's interesting. That really hasn't landed, and it's mostly because we've had better identities that work well with the trap archetype a bit better than Issuaq does. And I would say that this last set elevation actually has 2 identities that work well with traps, so that's kind of cool. But otherwise, the only like Issuaq decks are working are just running 5/3s and then just kind of scoring out to 6. There was an identity back in the day that also didn't really win major events, but this was Harmony Medtech. And it feels like this, as much as this was 12 influence, but 40 deck size, which was super rare back in the day. But it says both players needed 1 fewer agenda point. So you were just always kind of Issuaq texted. I think when we have played a bit of Issuaq so far, when we played the more honest versions, I've been always surprised that like you can go from 0 points to 7 points functionally in like 3 turns. Like if you just find yourself, you have a window and you score an agenda, and then next turn you can jam a card in the remote server. And then if you have the Lacoste, the double seamless, right? Like you can score out and suddenly go from 3 to 6 and 6 wins. Like it's kind of wild that when it works, it works. But again, the games where it doesn't fire, I feel like I've just totally wasted my time. And that's the hard part. It's also worth noting if this fires once, or if it hasn't fired, but you have a card in the remote server and they think there's a Lacoste in there, the runner has to be more aggressive because they could lose on that turn. And that's something that's hard to quantify as much as your identity didn't fire. Your opponent has to play around as if the remote server has the thing in it that could win the game. And that is, yeah, it's something you have to keep in mind for sure. When would you want to not use the text? Never. You'd always want to use the text. I don't think there's any reason that you wouldn't want to use the text. The problem is it's an optional ability. So you are allowed to forget it, which, yeah, not great. I haven't more consistently scored a 5-2, at least for the past 2 rounds of the Async League. You scored a 5 and win? Oh shit, so that's why the longevity makes sense. Because you can Issuaq a 5-3 and then Issuaq a 3-2. And Issuaqing a 3-2 is actually relatively easy, because all you need is a single Lacoste and a single Seamless, and then you win on 5 points. That's interesting. Like, unfortunately, this card is seeing play modernly, and I really don't like this card. This is just like this anti-climax card, the biggest anti-climax card in all of Netrunner, I would argue. But this seems like it makes sense too, because just getting that number down makes it a lot easier to like Lacoste to Seamless. But yeah, I guess the longevity could make sense. That's kind of cool. People aren't playing 2 pinholes? No, I don't think everyone is. I'm painting my studies while also probably more listening than watching. No, that's totally cool. Enjoy your wall. Hopefully your move has been good. Hey Concord, there's so many cool party tricks you can do with Issuaq. I find that if you can get Issuaq to pop even just once, that's huge. More often than not, I try to get 1 counter, then play normally. Yeah, I think you'd rather have the counter first so that you're not like forced to get the counter to win the game, because then if your opponent trashes a Lacosta, pinholes, burners a Seamless, couple 8s a Seamless, like then you lose all your threat. So ideally you want to get it on the first one, but even in the cases that you can't, they have to respect that the second one could have the counter attached to it. But yeah, I think that's totally right. Hey Gyro. Harmony Medtech could play 6 3-pointers? Yes. And back in the day, as Chad is saying, that you had Global Food Initiative. So you played a deck that had functionally 15 points for the runner. So you could score a Global Food Initiative and another 3-pointer and win, but your opponent, your runner, had to score 3 5-3s. There was even some versions of the deck that ran, what was the name of the trap that worked off the top of R&D? Like negative points, like She Q. I don't think the math always makes sense because you need them to hit a bunch of negative points for this to be worth anything. But there was versions of the deck that they had to score a lot of points. The base version with GFI was they had to score 9, you had to score 6. Because if they had a GFI, it functionally didn't matter because they still have to steal another agenda. They don't win on 6. This card is one of the strongest agendas ever printed. As quiet as that effect may sound, it is just busted. How is Harmony strictly more beneficial for the corp than the runner? It was both, but GFI was a big part of it. I think GFI, once that came out, it did help Harmony a lot. But like Harmony, I think the versions of Harmony that I saw were just like Mushin decks, like mitosis decks that said like, oh, I am the stakes heightened faster. That was kind of what it did when I saw it do anything. But I'm not going to say Harmony was fantastic. Does it mean the stream should be named Score to 5? I mean, maybe. The things I do to play negative agenda deck, you can still do it in standard, sort of. I'm glad a lot of those cards don't exist anymore. All right, let's give this a shot. All right, I think we know what we should be doing here. Ice, we're at 14? Yeah, no, 15? 6 plus 7 is 13, 14, 15. We're at 15 ice. That is, honestly, kind of feels like on the lighter side. I feel like we're seeing some decks. Maybe I played the Opalist on Tuesday, has 18 ice, but that deck wants to like destroy its ice and move itself around and push itself forward. But I feel like that's slightly on the low side. I would assume we'd be like 16, 17. We do have some card draw with predictive. That's nice. We have Spin Doctor, of course. Charlotte's good card draw. So maybe that like solves it. But I feel like there's a lot of early game ice that I'm not exactly happy to draw. Maybe it's just Empiricist and Cloud Eater. But we'll see. I imagine if we don't draw 2 ice on the early game, Centrals will be kind of an issue. But that's kind of the Jinteki issue when you're playing Honest Jinteki right now. It feels like if you don't have that extra win condition with damage, shout out to the complete image decks, and those are still winning games. And I don't think I realized how gross complete image can be. You have to be real honest. Nightmare Archives, I think it's just Nightmare Archives right now. Hey, it's Lucy. I'd love to get Issuaq working reliably with Sericulture, but I find that getting the over advance is too risky with Issuaq. Oh yeah, maybe. The over advancement doesn't really work with the ID text box. That's like very true. Hey. Thanks, you too. I think Lucy's likely to be playing Saucy. I think that's what she's been playing in Startup. That's the Arsana that you play in Startup. And Lucy is like very big Startup player and part of the Startup like moderation team or whatever exactly that's called. Apologies. So I'm assuming that's what we're going to see here. Our hand's not bad. We have a Charlotte, we have 1 ice. I don't think Arsana is going to deal with Empiricist well at all. And we have 2 good economy cards, Hedge Fund, Hansei. I think I can keep this. The best top deck here would be like a cheap end the run. The problem is with Hedge Fund, you can't get the Charlotte on the table while icing up all centrals, but we don't really have a big reason to ice up HQ. So I'm going to keep this. I don't think we're going to jam the Charlotte behind the Empiricist. We would love a Tattoo Bola, and Tattoo Bola is so good against Arsana too, because if you host a Trojan on it, it's a total waste of time. And hey, Duckland, IP enforcement. I guess it is negative agendas. Okay, that's cool too. So this card, in theory, we still want to advance our Charlotte because if it gets ran, we can pop it. But this is the combo together. The problem is like the Lacosta for the first advancement, you're spending a click and 3 credits instead of a click and 1 credit. But obviously the Lacosta is good if it sticks. Pressure coming from Shapers more on R&D than HQ. But I don't think we have much here to do besides draw a Hedge Fund and then put the Empiricist on probably HQ. Okay. Saisentan's fine for R&D. Empiricist does let you manage the top of the deck, which is kind of cool. Or sorry, the top of both R&D and HQ. Like, it kind of makes sense of both of them. Running HQ is not that bad, but I think there's a chance Arsana's on burner. Actually, no, we should play around Illumination. I think Illumination is much more likely. We should ice R&D. Yeah, I think we get blown out by Illumination Arsana. I think that's not uncommon. Hansei Fuji out of hand, jam Charlotte behind the empty. Feels good. It's not PT. Yeah. If we were PT, we'd go for the advancement for sure. All right, Lily Pad into Coalescence. Start with the Sure Gamble too, so all the triggers fired, which is fantastic. Okay, so I think here we just do Saisentan, Charlotte, Lacosta, and pass. She might be able to challenge this. It doesn't look like there was an early Illumination. This is like, it's an okay remote ice. It's not the best, but you can't always go through it. I honestly think advancing this once might be better than putting the Lacosta, but this gives a bit of, it becomes a lot harder to tell what the remote server is. Because this could be a defensive, it could be an Adrian. I'm assuming Lucille might know that we're playing the decklist of the week, but I don't love paying 3 to get the Charlotte. You're going to get this down no matter what, but I don't know. Early game seems a bit hard. This hand, okay, we're face checking, of course. We'll come back to this point. If we res this, we're down to 4, which is enough. This will probably knock cards out of hand. Arsana doesn't have a great wheel to do with this besides paying 3 from the, what's it called? We would love if this is a Tattoo Bola, the 3 from the Physarum. So this might be Physarum or Muse Physarum. We're probably going to lose everything here. This is why I like advancing the Charlotte a bit. But now we can't res R&D. I guess maybe we wanted to Hansei. Yeah, okay, it is a Physarum. So if we had a virus here, we actually could respond on approach. But she's going to bypass this for 3 and probably trash everything. All good. You can only res virus on approach. You can't res ice or upgrades on encounter. So we lose everything. This is why I want to pre-advance the Charlotte, so at least we get something for it. She probably, okay, she hit in the other order, so her money's pretty bad. If you hit the Charlotte first, you trash it. Do you always trash a Lacosta there? Maybe not. But at least the server is a bit difficult to contest. It's like expensive. Okay, credit. All right, that's sick. We can deal with the Fuji. I would love to jam anything in here. Honestly, I'd consider just jamming that. I don't think she's going to check it. Looks like a regular. Oh, but then we can't Hansei. I think that's fine. I think we just do credit longevity. Or we could do credit Hansei. I want to put something on the table. I don't think she'll check this. Why jam now? Because I don't think she's going to run it for 3 credits. Like, it's expensive for her to check. I might be wrong, but this just looks like we're pushing out a La Costa. Maybe in the context that this could be like, I don't know if it's an upgrade that we push. I just think if she checks us for 3, we're probably okay with it. It's definitely porous, but you don't have to be bulletproof. I just don't think she's going to run here when she starts on 3 credits. The coalescence make it a lot easier. She also has to watch out that this could be a Mavirus, which is like baby blowout. That if we res a Mavirus in the remote server, we can purge the Physarum. She needs like a simul chip for that to be safe. We may not needed to do this play, and actually I'd argue that now that I'm thinking about it, maybe this play doesn't make sense because we probably want to Hansei next turn. But I'm assuming if this survives next turn, we just do Hansei, put Braun on this remote server, and we don't score it. Scoring 2 points seems pointless. Yeah, you're right. It's not great. We probably need to pre-advance this. So I think next turn we do like Hansei, Braun, advance, and then next turn we seamless it. I don't think we want to just score this flat. Because if we score this, okay. Slap, that's fine. Hit the Braun. That's exactly 2 points from pointless. Okay, would we rather have the send a message or the Hansei, the Fuji? I think we'd rather have the send a message in hand. So the Urban's back, so one of these is going to bounce back. We can't trash both of them. So I think we just do Hansei for Fuji advance and put a Braun. She runs first click. She won't have enough money to get through all the Saisentan, so it has to full fire. I'd rather send a message stolen from HQ. Hansei, Braun, remote, yeah. And this means we can seamless get a point, and we can also fix our hand if we want to. But at least if the send a message goes through. So this could be being about an overclock. She should be pretty sure it's a Braun, but if she runs first click, she needs to like cheat out a credit card. So she could like Arasana Coalescence. Looks like we're going to have it. The Physarum cannot be bounced. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. It's a virus. That's really important. So this has to be the bounced one. Which if we had another ice, we would consider trashing it. She hasn't used a simul chip or muse yet, but yeah, very importantly, that Urban doesn't let you bounce viruses. If it did, it would be busted powerful, because you'd just be bouncing botuluses. Or like snakes or whatever. Two credits, no, haven't seen an environmental testing. Overclock probably cooks here. I think it's still hard to get through a Braun. And on 2, we're still threatening. Maybe with cards in hand, you could just throw the Saisentan. I still think it's tricky. I don't know how from hand she deals with Braun really well. Overcook. All right. 50-50. It's a big 50-50. I don't think we're upset if the send a message goes through. So we either res the Empiricist or we res the Braun. You probably don't need to click through the first sub on 2 credits. Yeah, you're right. With 1 card in hand, you're right. She can maybe click for a credit and then run. That would be okay. So either we res the Braun for free or we res the Empiricist. The Empiricist is obviously more expensive, but I'd actually be okay over installing the Empiricist. I think we'll just res the Braun. Yeah, this seems okay. The cool thing is whatever we top deck, we can jam. So simul chip's on the table. Just a discard. Hannah's in the bin. Okay, so without Hannah, Hannah's still good in Arasana, but I'm assuming this is a deep dive deck, which I won't get salty. Score. So we'll do Issuaq. So we now win on 6 points. So if we just score a 5-3, we win. Choose any name of cards from HQ to trash, we won't. Then we can shuffle 3 cards back. So we actually could consider shuffling the Fuji back, because if we top deck it, we're fine. I will definitely shuffle back the La Costa, the Seamless, and then one of the Econ cards. I'm actually kind of okay with just a hedge fund. Oh, we have 2 clicks. What a day. Maybe we should have drawn before we scored. I'll draw once. So if we put this in the remote server, she doesn't have to be scared of it. But that means next turn, if we jam, we can Hansei without a cost. It does, yeah. If I Issuaq a 5-3, I win now on 5 points. Yeah, it wasn't obvious to me. That's actually really scary. Yeah, Magical Christmas Land. This longevity is actually kind of sick. Bring the Charlotte back. I'm not too stoked about bringing the Charlotte back. We did top deck the La Costa, so it was worth something there. Maybe the Charlotte's worth it just to have enough things to bluff in the remote server. I'm not sure how she's going to deal with this Braun really easily. Will we res this if she face checks it? Probably not. With the simul chip, she might be a bit aggressive because I think she just Physarum this for 3 credits. Stream name scored a 6. Why are we scoring a 5? I didn't know it was a possibility. How you doing, by the way? Did you leave your stream on the other day? Because I couldn't watch the stream, and it was like 8 hours long, and then I think you completed it, and now it's like 2 hours, and I can watch it. But I used to be able to like try to... I tried to click on it, and it just would hang, because I think it was probably just streaming weird. I watched the games. I haven't watched the full replays yet. I think there was a turn where Meteor ran archives and you had Fuji Sting in the bin. And I think you were 1 credit short if you allowed him to steal that to be able to fast advance and flatline. All right, it's Illumination. So this is bad if it fires. If we res the Empiricist, we're bankrupt, which is also pretty bad. There's not that many points in the deck, 3, 6, 7, 8, but this is going to go through no matter what. If we res the Empiricist, we're on no money, so we just have to let this go through. If this was a Tattoo Bola, we'd be so hype. But yeah, this is why we iced up R&D. We're not going to res this. I want to be able to Hansei next turn. This doesn't even lock the deck because we Spin Doctor, and there's 3 points on Archive, so it's not the Axis, it's like the text on this card is really, really good. She only has 5 credits, but like the credit reduction on Illumination goes pretty far. Like this is 6 clicks and an Axis. If we really wanted to, we could res this, but then I think she just simultrips for the Physarum and probably still gets enough value off the Illumination and we can't play the Hansei. Here she can still Arasana. She can also Coalescence back. I ended the stream from OBS. I didn't take YT. Yeah, you have to end it on YouTube unless YouTube senses. It depends how you do the setup. But if YouTube senses the stream is end, it will just kill it. Okay, no Ari. That's a good start. Okay, so it's probably Poison Vial, or we're just going to click through the Brawn. You get the Lily Pad draw too, which is so nice because the card you draw you can install. Peach Sean Empiricist. Okay, so that wasn't installed with Ari, so we don't get the click back, but that was an absurd click. Holy shit, that was good. So the thing is, like, we're still going to lose the deep dive. Like, it doesn't really matter about our text. We're going to just have to ice up R&D and nothing else, and we're still going to lose the game because she's going to deep dive Peach Sean. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, next turn, if we don't res the Empiricist, she still has 5 clicks. With the Simul Chip, she can have 6 clicks. And so she just plays a single deep dive and we probably lose. I don't think we're equipped to deal with it. I don't know what Wenjong would say, but unless we can really make it by the remote server, we just can't beat deep dive here, I don't think. We have no anemones, which is one of the unfair ways we can like knock it out of hand. Are we going to Spin Doctor Shuffle? I don't think so. She knows that we're going to draw into this. It's a predictive. So we could draw 3. I think that's a good spot. We just need to push in the remote server and keep her busy. Oh man, I hate this card. Oh, we get Energetic Void on R&D. That's something. So we could do like Hedge Fund and a Weddick. We might need Anoetic for the remote server. I just don't see how we don't lose the deep dive. Issuaq is only allowed to win if Wenjong is the pilot. It's like our ability does something, but it doesn't stop us from losing. Hopefully we win. But if we do Hedge Fund Anoetic, we can fire Anoetic once. If she has a pinhole that's cooked, and like it doesn't even beat Peach Sean, like she still does a deep dive here. I'm gonna put 1 Anoetic in the remote server and hope that scares her more. Like if she spends her whole turn dealing with the server, I think we're okay with it. Again, to threaten out our win condition, we also need to draw at least like 1 Seamless usually. Because Lacosta usually doesn't do it. We have 5 and 38 density. We beat deep dive by Faith. But yeah, she's going to run archives. Like, I don't think we have Faith. This drops us down to 4, which is okay. The Simul Chip Shuffle, like, gives her money back. Or, like, pushes her closer to environmental testing. So, see how she deals with this. We have a Mavirus in the list. This could be a Mavirus. And then she gets hit by this. But it's not, like, game losing. No, all good. But yeah, she might just deep dive this turn. I think if that's the case, she wants to run archives first. There's a chance the Fuji hits the deep dive. That's the best case. What happened? Oh, that was from Ari. Okay. Faith being our win condition against deep dive does not feel good. It's a grid. Have a good stream. Hoping to lose at locals. Enjoy your locals, Brennan. Yeah, we're deep diving this turn. Thanks for dropping in. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, okay. So we can't give the Fuji for near obvious reasons. So we'll go for the planogram for draw. But like we probably just lose here. Nope. The odds of 2 in the top 8? Apparently we survived. But she can just play another one. Like she has a click left. She can play 2 of them. We didn't hit a deep dive. So she has another one? Oh, she doesn't have another one. I think she should have set up for another one. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I assumed you did. Deep dive is just runner Issuaq. I kind of want to trash this empiricist. I think we do. That seems ridiculous, but she will have problems dealing with Samasamun. We get simulation reset, but oh god, I hate playing this card. So I think we just do Samasamun credit Hansei. I think she'll struggle with this card. Sama's good. Yeah, Sama's really good. I don't think this deck has a Fractor. Maybe it does. Oh, fuck. She had the slap on the Brawn. I thought we were shutting down the Urban. We didn't. That probably wasn't worth trashing then. Maybe. I think trashing a Peach on Centrals is probably worth something. But we top deck an agenda. We have to go install Advance, and we still don't win with Issuaq. We have to protect it at 2 turns. And she just needs to break the remote server once, so. Reg enforcing ice are annoying. Yeah, there's a lot of ice that's just annoying. Tattoo's annoying. Sama is really annoying. I don't know how she deals with Braum besides clicking, and if she clicks, Anoetic is really annoying. She doesn't know which one of these is the offensive. Okay, she could run archives at a minimum to install that slap. I guess she sees one card. But like another deep dive comes through, we're just not in a good spot. We hold that for next turn. Do we put all our ice on one server? I think we do. We can't trash the Brawn. It's giving her Urban, but she clicked install this, which wasn't a very good click. It's like click for 1 credit. Because if you bounce the slap, I guess with Lily Pad it was a bit better because she didn't install a program. That's fine. We don't really have an incentive to ice up other centrals. We just need to make one central hard to run. Spreading your centrals doesn't make a lot of sense. You lose the same way towards like Spree. This is a bit more impactful against Criminal, I think. Where like you start to be able to brute force things like the Inside Job version. Estebrado. Acosta. Be happy if she trashes that. Stacking one server is more vulnerable to Spree though. No, it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, because Spree you can only put on that server. You're right. You can't move it off that server. Oh, no, you're right about that, but only sort of. Because a single ice server doesn't need to be Spree. 2 ice, you just run one, Spree the other. So, like, sort of. But you're right. Spree has a restriction that has to end on that server you're in. I forgot about that. It's a good call. The issue is if we predictive and we draw into 2 agendas, then we are in a bad spot. If you're not following deep dive shuffles, so we're not going to draw into what she saw off the top. I should read Spree. This is new info. Yeah. Yeah, Spree has the 3 power counters, but the ice can only be installed on. Botchless on the Saisentan. Okay, so this is a Spree deck for sure. And yeah. We need to find her above Iris. I think 3 1-ice servers are better than 1 3-ice servers. I don't think so. Well, yeah, maybe actually. Into Spree, yeah. Issue is we don't have Anoetic Void here. So we can predict it for more cards. I think we predict it for cards. And we hope we don't draw 2 agendas. That's fine. Tattoo Bowl is really good if the bronze subroutine fires. Advancing this doesn't really matter because we can't win. So I think we just take a credit because we have to be able to res all this stuff. Oh no, we could advance it once and then win off a top deck 3 and 27 seamless. So we have a 1 in 3 shot. That was actually something. We could have considered advancing. If we top deck a seamless, we'll feel really silly. But I'm just worried that we won't be able to res on R&D. It's good that we drew this because now their last brown subroutine really matters because of Tattoo Bola. Yeah, there is lines where we Magical Christmases. The problem is like we have to have double seamless. We need double seamless in hand to win here. Advancing once with Lacosta would be scoring next round. We need to score with Issuaq or we don't win. Sorry, yeah, how's it going? Because we need to score without advancing it. So we could score it, but then we are on 5 agenda points. We require 6. We want to be at 5, require 5. Fuck. Yeah, we should have seen that coming. That's okay. We can deal with this. Just cheat and use summon seamless. I feel like all our ice is going to be cheated here. So Tattoo Bullet seems reasonable, but I think this Tattoo Bullet will just get spreed. All right, so Poison Vial breaks all this. Botchus breaks all of this with Poison Vial. Can she run back? She can. She just takes damage, so we do lose here if she runs back. I'll call event. I don't think it really matters. But yeah, she should run this back. Oops. Oh, my bad. That's not a real surprise. Does this matter? We lose no matter what. Oh, I mean, she takes 1 less damage, but she loses the card for it. Yeah, so we're cooked. Yeah, our ice didn't really matter. It feels bad. I think we needed to put 1 more ice there, maybe. I think we should have called that if she's slap banding the brand, there's a Poison Vial, but Poison Vial just shreds this. Yeah, none of our ice actually mattered. Feels bad. I've never seen 3 Vial counters used in the same turn. Yeah, me neither. Yeah. All right. She could have just let this fire. She never flatlines on this. And the Fuji text isn't relevant. I wonder if we jammed the Charlotte instead. Would this have been good? Yeah, that would have been actually really cool if we jammed the Charlotte. That would have been pretty heads up. Oh, my homies have 4 counters. Trash is rigging up? Oh, I didn't fire subroutine. Okay, my bad. Hey, good game. Man, yeah, I'm a total deep dive doomer. Thanks for the game. That is the Shaper Netrunner that really gets me. The like cheat ice Shaper. Oh man. Here I thought Crim and Anarch invalidate ice, now it's Shaper too. Clutch's top deck poison. Oh no way. Sick. I think if we pushed the Charlotte there, that'd been pretty cool. I knew that she had the Brawn for this. I think Poison Vial we're expecting. Oh, she does have real breakers too. There's 3 in the deck. Oh my god. Yeah, so none of our ice is going to really matter. I think the only way we could possibly win is have enough ways to brute force look like Anoetic. If we actually had like more cards in hand, we would have something here. But then we have to refill our hand every turn. I just don't think she can run this every turn because she runs out of poison. Yeah, that's going to be a hard matchup for sure. Thanks again. This is the end my like Issuaq take is like I don't think it actually matters that much. I would have rather been playing the other Jinteki abilities. We'll run it back. I just like I think we should have lost a deep dive. Mathematically, no. But in terms of like setting up the double deep dive, I think that was probably the line. I don't know. Maybe we're putting up enough threat. Now viewer Lucy instead of a gamer Lucy. Good game, Lucille. Have we tried simply being Wenjong? I'd be very interested to know how Wenjong plays that. Deep dive doesn't seem to be loved by like anyone right now. No, not really. Well, no, people are winning games with it, so that's like kind of hype. But like we, as much as we have 3 Anoetics, I think we lose this Centrals very, very hard. Hey. Best of luck. Have fun. All right, we're playing against Hoshiko, 52 cards, so not sure if that means that they're playing the sort of like more convoluted virus versions. Our hand is not awful. Yar, okay. Weird. So we have Sama to Regolith, which is like kind of a start. Hoshiko's gonna be running on Centrals for sure. So we definitely want ice. Again, the deck does only have 15 ice, so we're not. What's the chance of us drawing an ice in our if we keep this? If we draw a second ice. So there's 14 and 44. Not great odds. I wouldn't bet on it. Did you have the Christmas Seamless to win? No, I have nothing. I have to hold for like 2 or 3 turns. I have no shot. The best we could do is 1 advancement. Shaper hard. I just summon magic pairing powers to dodge Shaper at OTG. You never played Shaper at OTG? I have met exactly one person in lifetime that has unironically defended deep dive. Cranked, how's it going? This hand's not awful. I think it could be better. I just don't want to be load-bearing regolith the deck. We top deck a Spin Doctor is pretty good. I'm resigning to deep dive getting banned. All the shape cards I like playing eventually get banned. Rip World Tree. I'd be stoked. Oh, nice. I'd be stoked if deep dive got banned. I'll be honest at this point. And then at some point when corporations feel like they have more tools or more like speed, I think you can bring it back. But right now, it's definitely not sitting well with me. All right, Hosh will run Centrals. We can Spin Doctor, which means we can Hansei for free. We don't have to res the Spin Doctor, so we might just like Sama Centrals. Samak on, like, this is good for the remote server. I don't really want this on, well, I don't know. Maybe you end up running through this with Rising Tide. Okay, that's good. That's the ice we wanted. So I think we're just going to Hansei the Sam. And then we'll ice up the Central, which you care about. HQ is like generally the server you should be running. We don't have a huge density on R&D, so I'm not too stressed. If they run Archives R&D, that's 2 clicks. I think we're okay with that. So I'll just put a Vampy on HQ, which almost always lines up well. If only there's an altar representing that, you could get going to UK National startup side event. If only. I got a sticker of the Shaper logo, which says only bans in the only fans font. Very cool. Ooh, hard botulus. That's like a pretty rough line because this is not unlikely to be a tattoo bola. And if this is a tattoo bola, you're kind of cooked. Like this, you have to cook for a while because this is very likely to have more than one subroutine. All right, running R&D, there's not a lot of agendas in there. They'll get the Hosh flip. They get the Fencer down first. Trash to Charlotte out of pocket. Okay. But this only gets bad in like 2 or 3 turns. And even then, okay, Hosh on 3 credits next turn. Top deck Seamless, sick. Okay. So I think we'll just do Saman Ramoth, Regolith. They're clearly playing Botulus. If this is a Samak Moon, like every single ice in our hand is so bad to Botulus that we're feeling okay about it. Tattoo, we don't have anything to do with it. So I think we'll just ice. And I think we can either double ice this or we'll just R&D. This will be good eventually. Hey Ryan, it's kind of like 45 card World Tree is fair. No one is doing good things with 65. No, I think the text on World Tree is just messed up. There's no way you can make a balanced version of that card. It's impossible. That effect is just absurd. Maybe in a world without SMC and Muse, maybe. All right, Vampire Nasa, this Axis is not that good. It's a 1-2 shot. I think we just don't res this. If we res this, we pay probably 7. That means we can still res this Sama, so it might be worth something. Yeah, that's fine. They're gonna stay flipped. World Tree is extremely cool and a fun thing to do, but it's a colossal mistake from a design perspective. Yeah, it's an issue. The fact that the runner can always grab something out of their deck, even if you play a 45, that's still very, very powerful effect. It's very hard to balance. It's really cool, and I'm glad we had it. It was like a really cool experiment, but it is messed up. I feel like 45 means you have to your Doom rig up on turn 4 or 5. Yeah, that's the issue. Like it also generates samey board states. As much as it's fun to get there, it's just like, oh, we'll get out all our breakers consistently and quickly. And then the game becomes the Shaper hell that you're used to. Yute, okay. Tutoring is maybe strong. I think that with that trick shot and turbine would be a lot weaker if they got unbanned today. I don't know if I fully agree with that. It would definitely be weaker, but I think it'd still be like a pretty messed up thing you can do. All right, their economy is struggling. They installed the Rising Tide, so at least they duck the Hoshiko. But here they prioritize getting their breakers down, which I wouldn't recommend doing because if you don't have money, your breakers are useless. This means you could face check a bit aggressively and not care about damage, but without money, these are not worth anything. So we'll see how they get out of this hole. Install Gourmand, that's free. All right, here we'll just res. We don't mind. We'll see which one of these they want us to fire. So I'll treat a KK after Doomrig as value. Oh my god, that's sick. That's really, really cool. You play the 1 KK. But the problem is like KK is not that great. Gain 2, do 2, drop to 2. So what is this? Lose 2? Oh, but of course. Seamless, that's going to get imp. That's fine. We have a Spin Doctor on the table. I just don't know how they get out of this hole if they keep touching cards. My record with early Rego versus no Rego is basically the exact same as my Rashida versus no Rashida. No shot. I feel like we like a Charlotte here more than anything else. Okay. So put the Sam back, and I think Send a Message is our most important card. But they're stuck on 0 credits next turn. They can't really run anything. We could do Predictive Rego. We don't have a good last click. So I guess we start with the Spin Doctor and try and get ice, and then we'll Rego when we need to, because we don't need a Rego right now. Yeah, that's fine. That's a remote server. From here, we could dump the Anoetic. I think next turn we'll do Predictive Anoetic, push whatever we top deck. The Rego is good. The Rego is very, very good. And I feel like there's a lot of decks that just are better if you get the Regolith off. It is one of the few ways that if you can have the table, you can get back into it. Shout out to Anthill too. Anthill is absurd. 5 credits and 2 cards is really good. I don't think I've seen anyone play consistently. Oh, they can fencer this? I'd actually kind of be okay with them fencering it, but these are fine cards, and then they have to pay for their fencer, which is kind of funnier. But it might have been okay to let them pay fencer credits. They don't touch, and I kind of want them to touch because they're stuck in hell. So it might have been okay to let them trash that and assume that our 3rd spin doctor or a longevity or our bird barbecue would bring a 2nd spin. Because I actually don't like shuffling these cards back in that much. Oh, wow, that's aggressive. Damn, that's aggressive. So they can break 1 subroutine on this. I guess we can risk drawing cards. It's still at the end of the day just a 1 in 5, but they're going to get a lot of card draw from this. Steelskin, okay, they lost a bit of influence. We don't have to draw, we're fine drawing. Okay, last spin. One of the nice things about Ob is being able to magically make Rego appear. Yeah, well, from what we played Ob on Tuesday, we barely got Rego down. And I guess that's because we're not playing Mavirus, like 3x Mavirus. They hit the Seamless, okay, so they know we have that. He has all these cards, but he doesn't have credits. And I wonder what he's going to do with Fencer, because it's not very important in this matchup. If you trash it like a Lacoste, it's really good. But it's not like we're playing assets. Keiko, that's good. That was a 1-2 credit Keiko. I think I've been forgetting playing in person for the last little while that when you install companions, this triggers. They discard a Steelskin and Strike Fund. Oh, those are really good cards. They're still down on 0. Okay. Do we put the 3rd spin doctor on the table? Like, I kind of don't want to. If we predicted for 3, we go up to 8 cards, we could do install. I don't think we need to do that. I think we just kind of play slow here. Tattoo Bowler has a swap. We can do Regolith, install Anoetic, install Mavirus. We don't have to show any information. I don't like this. I think we should be playing a bit faster. I didn't expect to like Anthill as much as I have. I like it exactly as much as I thought I'd like it, which is like, wait, this is kind of cool. This is good. I like it. Smooth. What's more likely to see Banhar, Steelskin? Definitely Banhar. Yeah, finally, Fencer left. So Fencer was not worth a lot. So we do install advance. We can't score it next turn. We don't have a Lacosta. If we predicted Planogram, we could find a Lacosta maybe. They have a Gourmand, so they're going to run Essential. They might run the Vampire Nasa, so I think we draw 3. Okay, Cloud Eater is big. I forget this is in the deck. But Bronze Sama is hard to deal with. They actually can if they run first click, but then we have Anoetic. So I think we just cook this for a bit. I think we just like either get the Cloud Eater on HQ, but if they tank the Vampire Nasa, what are they going to do? The runner loses 2, they might not care. Gain 2, they probably care. Do 2 net damage, they don't want to do. So I think we'll put another ice on HQ. I just feel really silly putting the tattoo there. I don't know. They're kind of unpredictable. The Gourmand's the only thing we care about. Think you were playing Svi either? Start of turn, use Svi to fetch Rego so much money. Are you playing assets or are you just getting a Svi on the table through some tricks? Because having the Svi is the 0 coster off of the what's it called? Adori's here, but not enough virtuals. In fact, no virtuals. So these are all very bad. I think we just do triple advance, or we could do double advance hedge fund. I don't think we're in a rush to do anything here. We could do triple advance and then Fuji next turn, but like we're discarding a card. Cloud Eater and Archives might be a nasty surprise. I'd rather have it on Centrals because we don't have a huge incentive to ice Archives. You're right, it would be, but also like paying 10 for a nasty surprise or paying 10 for a surprise on R&D is very different. Yeah, now that Mampy's cooking, I'm assuming they'll run HQ. And they can deal with the Tattoo Bola. Ooh, straight run. So let's just waste their time. Unfortunately, it's just double barrier. So they can't pay through this because it cost 8. So they can triple click, and then we can choose to res the Sama, which they break for 3, and then we can just Anoetic. We'll probably throw out the Anoetic and the Cloud Eater, honestly. We don't really care about the first subroutine. A Botu would have been more interesting, but a lot cheaper for them to break if they wanted to. It'd be 6 instead of 8. Not a huge difference on this board state. I've been playing a riff on the Humanoid Op yet the other day. It's been fun. I've been playing 1 Svi and a reduced. So they full click, okay. Reduced service is my personal spin. That's the one you have to pay for, right? This would be so much better for us if it was a tattoo. So they're paying the money. And now they're going to lose their turn. I don't want to res the Cloud Eater. We don't have money. Oof, that's money. They can do it again. So I think we just do draw for an ice credit. Nice. Advance. We could predict a planogram for 3. It might be better. We're not expecting to spend that much money, and we only need 2 credits next turn to get the Fuji scored and to go ahead and get the Issuaq counter. They threw out a Steel Skin and the other one, so like hitting the Fuji probably won't throw them forward. Here they could be aggressive, right? Adori. Oh, actually, Adori breaks 5 for Saisentan. With 3 cards in hand, you kind of will have to watch out for that. Yeah, I've been really impressed with Zato. Zato is absolutely wild. Ooh, raindrops. Just running archives, okay. So a bit of a small dirty laundry. Fortunately, if we had a Lacosta, we'd be cooking. Wow, they had a Steel Skin and a Strike Fund right after we're going to Fuji. Double Seamless, sick. So we'll score. Well, Issuaq, Fuji hits a mutual favor in a Taka. So hitting the Taka is really important if they're on the Dancer Breakers that care about, or the Disco Breakers caring about virtuals. So now we can just do Charlotte Advance. It drops us to 3. They might run HQ here. This seems fine. And then we just need to find our longevity, which is a 1 in 28. Or another 5-3. Price, Lagu, twinning, Taka mutual. So they're going for the Taka. Twinnings from hand. They have a Botchus on a Brawn, which is totally fine. We have a virus there. So we'll res Charlotte, of course. Fire Charlotte. Wow, we have the longevity. So we just win, right? We just install longevity, advanced predictive. I think that's all we do. Install longevity, advance. And if we predictive, we might as well Charlotte, right? It's slightly worse. This gives us more cards in hand, though. Yeah, okay, we top decked it. That's really great. We win next turn. They're on 2 credits with a Taka. We have a virus for any botches that gets run. And to score out, we need 2 credits. Is this Issuaq? I guess? I think our opponents, they were very aggressive. And if they had money, we'd be a bit more frightened. But because they've only once been over, like, sure gamble money, we'll just go ahead and do a little res. We'll purge. And now they can counter. They could still double click, but then we ban Noetic, so it doesn't matter. Starting turn on 0 is fine. Yeah, you're right. We could do credit. It's seamless. Yeah, we have 1 credit to score out, not even 2. I did the math wrong. So they click. So in theory, we can put a Saisentan in front of them. It's just less clicking, so I'm not going to fire the subroutine. Oh, what? They clicked unend the run, but they didn't click the second end the run. Not sure why. Good game. Yeah, that's the 5-point Issuaq. It's actually really cool. Thanks for the game. Yeah, they were just lacking economy. They got their breakers down sooner than anything else. And like, this is the thing, we're installing your breakers if you're not going to use them. So this came down for 4, this came down for 2, this came down for 1. This one was used, but that was like some clicks and credits that didn't go anywhere. It seems like their deck is like pretty functional. It like just gets breakers on the table and runs companions. Maybe it doesn't have enough money. It's hard to tell. But it has all the like the engine with like Keiko and the companions. Swag. Hey, how's it going, D? That was cool. Stream name is Lie. Let's run it back. It's the same player. Uh-oh. What things do you consider when deck tuning? How do you smell when a card just isn't working for you? I think the easiest way, again, best of luck, have fun. I think the easiest way is when you top deck the card and you're upset about it. Like, in how many matchups have you either drawn a card and not played it, or drawn a card and been like, I wish that was anything else? I think those are the big things that I want to tune. Just about for every card game, it's like that. Like I'm playing Marvel Champions, and if I draw this card and realize I'll never install it when I draw it, why is it in the deck? Sometimes it's right because that card's in the deck for a certain matchup that shows up for enough of the field and has enough like EV in that matchup that you feel like you should spend the time on it. But that's the short of the long. Is like if you're upset about what you're finding, find something else. If you also realize too, like the more interesting one is like if you play the matchup enough. So say that you're playing Sable and you're playing against enough assets and you realize like, oh, my console is okay, but the problem I'm having is I don't have enough money. This hand's fine. Maybe I shall try out the penny shaver, which I think a lot of people are doing right now. Like sometimes it's more so like you're looking at the list and thinking like the reason why I'm failing. So you have to slow down and look at the matchup. The reason why I'm failing is I don't have enough money to trash assets. So either you can tech in more asset tech with spending influence, or you can move some cards around. So like, oh, Penny Shaver works really good against assets. It works really good with Sable. Stuff like that too. Some of those things Seamless should cost 2. Really what it does for the game. Yeah, I think Ryan, if NSG was going to redo System Gateway, I think Seamless would cost 2 at a minimum. I think the designers were public saying that that was one of the things they learned. Is that it seems hard to economically deny a corporation when they can seamless on 1. As soon as it costs 2, which is still a bargain because it's 2 advancements for a single click for 2, which that should cost about 3, if not more, you're in a good spot. Like that means that if you force them to res the ice, they can't score on like 0 credits or 1 credit. What are we doing? Empiricist HQ pass seems so shit, but like I'm not above it. I just don't want to res this. Why did we keep this hand? I want to use this for card draw because it's so much better. They definitely run centrals. I hate this turn. If we res this, we get onto 0. It's bad. Crimson and Ice Spot be able to tech with more playstyle changes than cards. Yeah, it feels like a lot of it is yeah, a bit of it's the playstyle. Getting buffer drive on turn 1. Botchless. Okay, we've seen this line before. You have how you use your influence is important. I feel like we're in the sort of meta where if you use your tech influence wrong, they trash it. That was an expensive trash. I don't love trashing expensive stuff on the top of the deck because if we top deck this, it's better that we draw ice than this, right? Okay, let's find ice. All right. We have too many cards. I want them a virus into this Empiricist, but ideally we just don't res the Empiricist because we have them a viruses. It's 10 credits. I don't know why they put the buffer drive on turn 1. So we could do Braun Regolith. That's bad if they check it. So I think we just do Hansei for the Anoetic. Anoetic seems really good. And then we'll put 2 ice on the table. We'll do Braun Regolith then vote. Yeah, I want to do Hansei there because we have too many cards. Like, we're going to discard a card no matter what, so we should Hansei. I feel like the most obvious fix if we redid SG is to actually give a red team more Temujin numbers. I think red team's not bad right now. I think red team should just run any server. I don't think it has to be central servers, and then it would be very good into assets. Maybe too good. I can't tell. If it's costing 2-3, then Eco Denial Run Archetype would feel very oppressive. It would feel better. I don't think there's a lot of economic denial Netrunner going on right now, but it would definitely feel better. The price hits Scrounge. Okay. Lagu, Strike Fund. So they're running us. We're not going to res. We don't want to res into raindrops. Usually this isn't awful for us. Remember when Baz in open market were getting scooped and people were like, maybe red team's actually good. 2 months later, look where we are. I mean, it's not awful. I've lost more games to red team in the last couple of weeks than I have in my whole life. I play Baz without red team in open market. I like open market a lot. All right, Sama seems fine. So we can just do Sama Regolith. They draw first for Lagu, so I guess we should do this first in case we get some information. They lost a mutual, sick. Oh, they buffer drived it, okay. You could res this and click it. One of my favorite things is not doing that, because functionally it's a click for 1 credit, and you give them all the information. So they know if they should pinhole it, they know at which like amount of aggression they should run this. We're not really in the space where we have to empty this as soon as possible. Getting them a virus on the table is actually kind of fascinating to this Empiricist, but I'm hoping the virus gets hit. Actually, this Gourmand's pretty bad. I wonder if we should have also got the, what do we do? Click 1. Credit. Oh, we should have got them a virus down for sure. Yeah, I really do not like Empiricist. If this was a Saisentan, I'd res it. For 7, I'm not resing this thing. Sick. That solves both of our problems. Red team has always been awful and would be awful at 4 as well. This is Ren and Stone. I don't know. I've lost games to it. You playing asset spams, they're running central. It's like, it's pretty bad. If you can't ice up centrals. It's not the best card, but like the knick-knack decks like it a lot. You don't have to boost red team until it becomes unbelievably good to be scared to change too much. Yeah, I don't think you have to. Like, I like what they do with like things like open market and stuff like that, where you can hopefully try and push it up. Like maybe knick-knack pushes it up. I can't tell. Pierces might actually be bad. I think it is really quite bad. I would want to play Saisentan and nothing else. You can play Cloud Eater. It's good. But I really do not care for this card. It's also, I think, one of my least favorite art in the set. I feel it's so jarring compared to the rest of Netrunner. The year's 2030 runner econ is an all-time high, so SBT banned gamble. Now everyone plays red team. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? What if red team costs 4 at 20 credits on it, give you them batches of 4 and picked a server instead of being any central? And every time you ran it, when it was successful, you got the credits. I don't want to live in a future where red team is a high point runner econ. I want it to be like a cool point runner econ. I don't want it to be like, oh, they got red team, I lose. But I want to be like, oh, they're a red team deck. That's neat. Okay, so we just empty this. If they run HQ, we at least have an empiricist. Their money's not good, so I'm not scared of them. Samaz's really good into Botulus. Now our money's good. We can resin empiricist even if 2 subroutines fire. Seems tough to fix the meta with bans only. Not sure what we'll see. Well, that's what they've been doing for a while now. And it works out relatively well. We've had some pretty good metas. This like meta with the whole rotation is like obviously going to be the strange one. And so if you don't think it's good, it'll change. Okay. I think we can push their mode server. I think we can fully empty this though, but they'll probably run HQ next turn with empiricist at 2 Botulus counters. So if we could do like, if they steal 1 agenda from HQ, we're not too worried, right? So maybe we just tattoo HQ, brand the remote, click Regolith. We ended up with the same awful server of Braun into Samasamoon. I hate it. You wonder where red team is good and deep dive doesn't end games have a format to sell you. Hey, Crow, how's it going? It's the deck list of the week. Is there a rotation when they release the next cycle? No. For startup, there is Spark, but not for standard. The card pool seems like it's just too small. I have a variety of decks. No. I don't think they've announced when Ashes will rotate, but I don't think it'll be for like 3 releases. Not that I don't think the work that NSG does is fantastic, but like we need new cards in less than a year. I'm pretty confident at this point. Like I think with the format being this small, it's actually very important that new cards come out in a timely manner. I think if we go a year without new cards, it's going to be a problem. I think player retention is going to be hard. I think NSG is probably aware of that, but it's difficult to get that done. I'll res a 5-cost Vampra Nasa. We're just struggling to find out how to use Fencer so twinning works. Okay, we hit a Taka, a Lagu, and a Raindrops. We'll draw 2. Full hand is good hand. Okay, would allow us to send a message. They're on 0 credits, so they're stuck in Hoshiko Hell. The format has needed new cards more than ever since Genesis cycle. Wait, you mean like right now it does? You might be right. Oh, found a Spin Doctor, so the twinning fires. Incoming booster sets, I'm like fine with it. I don't know. I think NSG's like release model doesn't make sense for smaller products because it's just the headache for the way that they do things. They don't have the sort of like, you know, lines of mass commerce that other companies do. Okay, we're flooded up. We should get these out of hand. We could just longevity. We could do Lacosta longevity advance. I think we just slow rolled at this. I think we have enough money. We can hold a hand of all agendas. I don't think we're too concerned. I'm already bored of the current card pool, but maybe it's just me. No, I think it's gonna be a problem. The format's really small. It's very, very small. And the good stuff is like, unfortunately, the straightforward good stuff. I do think that we're gonna see like a lot of decks in the near future that we could have played now that we didn't. Like, I don't think the meta is solved. It's just like, it does not feel pretty wide. Card Factory chugs. There you go, D. Hard at work. Botches on Tattoo Bola. Unfortunately, we don't have the punish here, but you hate to see it. We're gonna get pretty owned by this. You don't want to botch as a Tattoo Bola if you can avoid it, but we don't have a lot of ice. Straightforward good stuff is the good stuff. I hear you, Ian, and I feel like a bit of this is content creation glasses, where it's like, we can't keep playing the same criminal deck. It's really fun. But like, I don't think that brings people into the game. The meta's 1,000 flavors of Oko. Yeah, that's kind of what's proven too. So at least here, if a send a message gets through, we hit a Brawn. They can't charge their twinning. Hit a Sam. Hedge fund. Okay, that's a good start. Sam, sick. Just as we intended. I really think the master rotation and 2 beginner focus sets in 4 years were mistakes to do together. I wouldn't say mistake, but it definitely is. Yeah, I think it's good for getting people into the game, but for more entrenched people, players, yeah, I think they're going to need a push forward for sure. I wouldn't say mistake, because it's very good for new players, and that's more important, arguably, than entrenched players, unfortunately. But if you know what I mean. Red Cream is the most boring right now. It's been a while because you're money up and don't have to take any risks. I think you take risks. I think it's fun. They're stuck in Hoshiko hell. I guess they threatened to click through this. We could score this out, but we don't really need to. I think we just do draw. Why shouldn't I play this seamless? I like our hand. We'll put back hedge, seamless, spin. We have 2 spins in the deck, actually. We don't need spin that much. We have 2 animatics in the deck. Yeah, I'll do spin. It's not like we're not going to fire Lagu. We could consider not firing Lagu when they don't have cards in hand. I don't even know if historic Reg Crim even exists anymore. It feels like Reg just means has twinning in it. Reg just means like, oh, they lost a Banhar. Let's get to another on Banhar. I think it's just still Reg Crim. I think Reg Crim is just like the no-nonsense run-based criminal. Yeah, it was a good top deck. I don't think we had to play it. Hey, Ian, I'm worried to ask at this point because I know there was the Jaded F-Heads scandal a while ago, and I don't remember it at all. I don't know if that's something we shouldn't drudge up, but I probably should ask offline what that was because I do not remember it in the slightest. Twinning Chesva Crim is a staple of TAA startup, and honestly surprised it took this rotation to bring it into standard viability, just good cards. Oh, that's been a staple of standard for years, though. We see that almost won Worlds in 2022, right? Or 2023, excuse me. I don't think that's like new to this meta. The runner econ and access where I think Kayambe, Bologna, Luminal, Keeling, and Cyberdex can all come off the list, but I'm also best corpse. I wouldn't go that hard. So let's see if Fencer stays. Paladin's down, so charging the 20 is going to be a problem. Yep, advance. We basically can advance this a couple times and win next turn. So if we do triple advance, we're down to 3 credits. And on 3 credits, if they run through this, we're on 3 credits, we res a Samasa Moon. And we probably win. I just don't think we have to do that. But in theory, if we just triple advance this, we win next turn. Weird how I don't want to do that, but that's probably right. I mean, this is the coward's way. Hey, John, you always need new players as the game dies attrition? For sure. For sure. Keelan comes off him starting away from standard until Oko gets banned. I mean, so now we don't have a reason to advance this? Well, no, we have a 1 in 10 chance. We have a 1 in 10 chance of getting a seamless and winning. TAI started forever. They can just run through the ice with no breakers. Oh yeah, you're right. They can just run through Samasa Moon, but they might die to Fuji. But yeah, you can always just take 3 damage from Sama. Elevation is legit good set. People are just still feeling the effects of how wildly different the card pool is. No, for sure. It's like the Growing Pains card pool. I will say I think I disagree with the idea that new players are more important odds than entrenched players. Interesting. I think they're both important, but I think if the game's not growing, that's bad. I think they're both very important. Okay, we like this infusion of cash. They're on 4 virtuals. We want to get the Vampire Nas on the table so we can get a resed when this gets passed and they steal the send a message. Probably. I wonder what this they're going to break. We were for profit, I get it, but the goal of NSG is to keep Netrunner alive, and a format where Netrunner exists exclusively on the kitchen table isn't Netrunner for a lot of folks. Oh, that's a weird take, D. Because from my understanding, the majority of people don't play online or in organized play. They play on kitchen tables. Like, I don't know how much of my audience is that, but I think it's a lot of people. They lost Cacophony, Sick, and Steelskin. The thing is, like, do those folks buy every expansion or do they just buy Elevation? Is that as important? I don't know. But I hear you. So the C2, Saiz, send a message, cool. So they can win if they just send it R&D. Elevation is a problem. It's Corp not having win cons and face a runner econ. Yeah, well, it's the disparity. The power level's changed really drastically. It's hard to land that. Most people who play Netrunner don't go to organized play wager. I don't know if that's the case, John. I'm somewhere in the middle. I think during FFG that was the case because it was in all stores. But I think at this point, a lot of Netrunner players are plugged in because you have to be plugged in to find out Netrunner exists. That's kind of my thesis. That I think it's probably more than I think it is that play casual or own Netrunner product. But the conversation I've seen online where people say like, oh, you can play Netrunner. Oh, but it's like a community thing. I don't care about it. Like the people who are playing are plugged in. Seamless top deck. Okay, 6 credits. I think we just draw once more. And then we just advance once. And then we take a credit. We don't play this. We want 4 cards in hand. Oh, we consider icing R&D. They could see 2 on R&D. We could lose to that. I'm fine with that. If we lose off R&D, we lose off R&D. I think it's great that those folks are an audience, but I also think Netrunner sets need to encourage people to become part of the scene. Yeah, 100%. But I do think organized play also needs to bring people in. So yeah, it's both for sure. But I think organized play also doesn't mean like people going to Worlds. I think it also means like people going out on Tuesday nights, right? Wish there was a way to census everyone that owns a system gateway. Yeah, there isn't. Building a meta that looks like something folks want to get more involved in is important. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Maddie. Banner comes down. That won't matter if we win this turn. I feel like kitchen table players shouldn't be factored into Netrunner's live conversation unless they're engaging with the rest of the community. Bunch of dead games still have kitchen table communities. Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable point. I mean, the people who are like running organized play and going to organized play are in some ways, you know, keeping the game alive. Obviously the people making the game too, but yeah, maybe that's a true point. Cacophony, okay. Shut up and sit down 3-minute board games are like 2 examples of Netrunner being shown to people without being plugged in. But they're just sending this. We're not going to draw off of this. It's very difficult to get my friends to play the game, and even then they're commander kitchen table players who are very casual, so they're just not going to events. I think going to your first event is the hardest hurdle. It always has been. Epilogue, sure, gamble. We're not going to draw anything, so we can't have any agendas in hand. As soon as they draw 0, you should probably jack out here. The Sympirsis doesn't flatline them, but it can't be good, right? Jai put it super well there. Like, we want folks to make Netrunner, and to folks to enter Netrunner, but we also want to make entrenched players happy, so Netrunner looks like a fun community to involve in. Oh, they can break this. It costs 4. Okay. No, awful, I guess. Don't mind the other cards you have to set up. They're good cards, though. Oh, if we drew, we would have maybe lost there. Score 2-5. Good game. Thanks again for the game. Yeah, managing economy is really important in the game. I think our opponent here might be a newer player. Their deck is really bloated. It has a lot of extra cards in it. Things like Cacophony, I think they can trim out of their deck for sure. But it's just making sure that like how much you can threaten is really dependent on, well, Fanhar helps a lot, but how much money you have. And so like installing buffer drive on turn 1, it has no impact on the game. And if you install this on turn 1, you don't have money. So if you top deck an economy card or have to get into the remote server, this is very expensive, right? Like paying 3 for this literal brick is very, very, very hard. So again, I don't think in this game at any point they were above like 5 to 9 credits. I think a big part of this is that they don't seem to be playing Fermenter, and Fermenter is the one card that they probably would love to play in the deck because it allows them to play this way, where they can just have the Fermenter cooking and then just kind of like be as aggressive as possible and have this fallback plan as much as like Mavirus can interrupt it. But yeah, the money doesn't seem to be there as much as they're not playing bad cards. When I start bringing new players in, I mean entrenching new players, not kitchen table. Hold on, the conversation is really interesting. NRDB doesn't have a core set button. No, it probably doesn't. Okay, hold on. I'm catching up on chat. I'm going to say that what's missing is a layer of casual organized play for people who don't want to think about meta or competition, but still want to socialize through play. That's true. I'm assuming like regular meetups and like GNKs and CTKs are meant to have that sort of base covered. How's it going, by the way, Milanomi? I worry that also like how good your local meta is and how willing you are to come out on Tuesdays is also kind of dependent on what the meta looks like. right? Like if you're surrounded by people who are plugged in and play competitive Netrunner DB stuff, and you go to your local Tuesday and you know it is the way that the meta might be right now, that's probably not great. I feel like I know what got me into the game really well back in the days we had leagues where winning was encouraged, but it was not the most important thing. And so I don't know. I feel like I'm also at this point, like been playing the game for such a long time that what I want to have fun is a bit different, but I got like 4 or 5 people into Netrunner over the past year and they just ended up playing kitchen table because they don't enjoy standard or pre-ban startup. How do you think that the elevation change has we were in this really frustrating holding pattern for the last couple months because, you know, we were waiting for elevation to come out, and elevation was meant to be like, oh, all the FFG cards are gone. You don't have to proxy. Welcome to standard. And I do think from the competitive side, like there's some pessimism about the modern standard is that hasn't come to fruition because modern standard is like not particularly new player friendly if you play competitively right now. Like it's rough. You die to everything. Literally everything is trying to kill you and everything else is assets at the same time. I think that is not great. And I think that also needs to be helped to like help people want to approach standard modernly. Every local player I've dragged to events immediately realized events are cracked and signed up for Nats Conts Worlds. The first tournament hurdle was real. Yeah, the first tournament is always the hardest for sure. Makes me think about how they like to deck build, and that's really hard to do when they don't know how to play the game. And NRDB doesn't have a core set button. Yeah, that's true. It's very common trap in game design to make a game for yourself instead of a wider audience. The second most common trap is to make a game just for your hardcore audience. I don't know if I would call it a trap, right? Like it depends what your goals are. I'm imagining there's a game that's not made for a casual audience that would be my favorite game of all time. Maybe Netrunner is that. I don't think Netrunner is for a casual audience, and I don't think that's like, obviously that's not the best part about Netrunner, but it's like, it's fine. I think it's fine that it's not. Level investment to even get to the floor of Netrunner is way higher than basically any other active card game, which makes the kitchen table casual barely a factor by comparison. Yeah. I think it is very cool about this game though, even if you play it like very, you know, getting the rules wrong, very kitchen table play, the game is still really fun, especially even if you don't know what you're doing, which is like one of the coolest parts about Netrunners. Like people play a game and be like, oh wait, we should do that again. I've learned so much already. But yeah, it's very, very hard. We definitely should support the existing community, but not at the expense of bringing new players in. This is 90% of my struggles with OP decisions. When I say bringing new players in, I mean entrenching new players, not kitchen table. Kor, what do you think? Like, what are the biggest struggles if you can actualize them in words, if you're allowed to, from OP? Like, what sort of decisions would you want to make that are more targeted towards entrenching new players? Which I think is a good way of talking about it. Yeah, sorry about the false advertisement. Scored a 5. There's definitely a mindset thing when going to events. There are heaps of overlap with the people I see at non-MTG card game events. If you go to one of those, go to all the type. Mindset with going to events. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Like if you're used to going to events, it's more approachable. The thing is, like, I think the majority of people who play Netrunner don't come from a card game background. They come from a board game background. So like going to events is a bit alien. They imported simul chips, so I presume they're in Fermenter. I would assume so, but we've seen none. I think they're just moving their botch list around. In 2 games, we saw 0. Hey, Emma Kappa, how's it going? Just give me my anecdotal experience from your census. I played a bunch during the FFG days, but there isn't a scene around me anymore. I have System Gateway only from the new stuff and haven't played it on Kitchen Table, but I mainly play casually online every now and then. I definitely would be playing more in-person scene if the in-person scene was there. Ah, okay. It's good to know. I don't know if you're plugged into things like green level clearance. Again, I don't know where you are, but there's people in your area that have that same sort of complaint, and you all just need to find each other. So definitely take the time to look, but you probably have, right? My local meta is doing pretty well too right now, which is why it's a little sad I'm leaving right now. Sorry, D. Thanks to stream. Hey, Concord, thanks for dropping by. The work there is to build a culture, not a new form of meetup. Yeah. I compare core, which we're playing locally, to standard, and I'm like, we're having a blast right now. I don't know why y'all are up to. I think the next tournament we're having in Montreal is a core tournament, and I'm excited for that. The last time that we actually played startup, and this was pre-elevation, like we had a great time. Turnip was huge. I do think we still killed people to like Fuji Neurospike combos, but like it was really fun. It was like way, way fun. I'm playing miserable decks and meetups, and I think all the new players stayed, so I don't know. I talked to them about elevation. They tried a bit. They really changed it for them. Daria and I will be in the same meta. Lord help, MA. I would definitely love to have a way to engage both competitive players and more casual players in a single kind of event. I have a lot of players who won't come to events, come to Tuesday, just a way to bridge the gap. One sort of event that I know fired relatively well in the past, and we only did this once or twice, is like team tournaments. Oh, we can segue into that naturally. But like I remember having tournaments where it's like you were in teams of 2 and it would be like an entrenched player and a newer player. And so the two of you had to play different factions. But the idea is that you could do table talk. So the newer player would always play against their opponent's newer player, and the entrenched player would always play against their opponent's entrenched player. And that way you always had someone you could be asking like, should I mulligan? What do you think I should do here? And it's not to quarterback, but it was a really fun event. But yeah, I do think structures can be pointed maybe better towards that. Netrunner's like the least casual friendly game going on right now. I don't know. I've heard of like the 11-day war games or whatever. Massachusetts is a cursed state to begin with. I'm weaning my locals into normalizing JNet play. Hopefully that's a milestone for a more self-sustaining scene. So when I was playing Netrunner casually, when I got into the game, we didn't have JNet, we had Octagon. And I couldn't tell you how long it took before I started playing Octagon or was comfortable playing Octagon. And Octagon was so much less, it was so less approachable than JNet is. Like none of the cards were rules coded. You did everything manually. It was like hotkeys to run certain servers, like hit F5 to run R&D. It was like, what the heck? Like, how did you know that? I think it took me a while, but I really enjoyed it as a newer player because it allowed me to jam games and like practice. But that might not be the case for everyone. You want a realistic down-to-earth card game that's completely off the walls and swarming with magic robots? Hey, Solwyn, I tried introducing my MTG friends to Netrunner using my standard decks. They didn't have fun playing versus Mawzaya. Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I'm not going far. I'm excited to be in Mass. Oh, you're not far at all. You're closer to other friends now. Continentals is core format? No shot. London, how's it going? Core rocks. I haven't played core yet. We need to. Getting into the game last year, I played core and then went straight to standard after going out for the first time. I'm not sure it would work out as well though. Now what standard is though. I think with the competitive version of like the competitive standard meta, that probably wouldn't work well. But we're at this weird point where like standard is honestly probably equally approachable to startup because the card pool is not that much bigger. Responding to OP struggles, if we just wanted to support current players, we'd probably push for stricter policies. But every time a policy change comes up, we have to weigh it against the barrier to entry. Probably can't go any further than that. Okay, interesting. Cryptic, but interesting. I think that's a cool thing to keep in mind, but fascinating. Hey, Joel, how you doing? You know what type of event is meant for the meeting group of experienced players and newer players? A kind of format that has deep enough deck building and accessible card pools. I should write an article about that. As much as it wounds me to ban Ferris from the one format it gets played in. Maybe they could call it a love letter to the imaginary format that doesn't exist. You played on Octagon, M. Kappa? I really enjoyed it. It was great. What are you anticipating for the next set? Piggy Bank? Jared, I have no idea. Literally no idea. Like, I do think we're at the point that NSG could do whatever they want with the new set. Like, they are in this brave new world that literally the format could be different, like how the cards are released. Like, I got nothing. Like, I don't know. I think what I'm excited to see is that probably things that are more out there. Like, Elevation was more fundamentals, and so it's not as flashy. Like, more archetype role players, that sort of thing. I think there's a perceived gap between runner and core power that will be ironed out in time, but so hard to tell. I'm hoping it's sooner than later, though. Netrunner is a very casual and friendly game right now, but people flock to TCGs, which are more of a monetary wall. Yeah, but people love opening packs. Like, we won't admit it. People love opening packs. It's really hard to fight uphill. It doesn't matter how much that shit costs. They just like it. My experience with multiple card games is that you will slowly bleed player numbers over time, no matter what you do. If you want a game to stay alive, you have to bring new players coming in. Oh, for sure. But I just think what a lot of folks were saying is that you also have to make sure that entrenched players stay because they're the people running the tournaments and bringing people in. I think it's both. I don't think anyone thinks it's not both. But yeah. Stand by my belief that the most important bottleneck is developing a consistent release schedule. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think that's hard though. One of our new players sold less than a pack's worth of MTG cards and got an order for most of the current MTG product. So you can casual kitchen table meta. You come into Suburban Wasteland this year? Z-Bag, I'm really hoping on it. Is the date out? Is it July or is it August? Because currently I know like Mega Cities in Toronto is like August 2nd and then we have Conts on 22nd. So I'm assuming it's not between there and it's in July. How you doing, by the way? I definitely agree. My views are obviously shaped by the area I work most in. Agreed that the release schedule is probably the number one factor. Yeah, for sure. Let's go gambling. What do you think about longer release cycle NSG has been? Not great. I don't think anyone's happy about it. Like, I don't think anyone says the card should be slower. I just think it's hard. Volunteers, a lot of moving stuff. It's just very difficult. I think NSG is very aware that if they could release content more consistently in a sustainable way, they would. And it's no doubt a concern of theirs. I'm not NSG, so I can't say anything about it. But yeah. Got to play games tonight with the double card decks, and the shuffling experience is great, but I feel like I'm going to rip these sleeves. You're not going to rip them, but they're going to be notably strange sleeves. You're going to see the like indentation of the second card. Packs are meant to be a dopamine hit. How's it going, Kato? It's the worst sort of manipulation they have to really be aware to avoid. Oh no, I know, I agree. I love opening packs. I'm not going to sell you. Oh my God, Flesh and Blood is so bad. Like, there's the rarest card in Flesh and Blood. Is called, it's above a Majestic, it's above a Legendary. Shit if I know the name, but it is the rarest card. The rarest card type. And these are cards are not consistently been the most playable card, but the rarest card type that just came out, the Fabled, they're called Fabled. It is a one of in every modern pirate deck. Currently in competitive Flesh and Blood. So if you want to play a modern competitive deck, you need to drop at least 350 American on a single copy of this Fabled. Some people could argue you don't need it, but like it'll make your deck better. I can't stand it. That is incredible. I don't know how people don't see that and walk away. That is absurd. Just absurd. July 12th. Okay, cool. Seabag. It's very likely. We generally stay for a weekend in Ontario during the summer. I think that lines up perfectly. Not that we wouldn't make it down. It's a bit harder this year because we don't have a car anymore, but we'll make it make sense. Definitely rather swing your cards with a more active ban list and a faster release schedule. Borealis' peak Netrunner. I think that ban list has been very active. I think this is just a hard ban list because it takes a while for the meta to settle. People who wanted the ban list like a month into the new format that's a bit ridiculous. I'm assuming we're going to get one before Conts, but run together random inclusion. Booster packs are the worst things to happen to card games, period. I agree. Keyforge model distro. No, shut up. On the opposite of enjoying opening packs, I won't play any card games that is CCG because it's a money pit. Mad Dog, I don't think you're the minority. How's it going, by the way? A lot of people have that stance, especially people who came from the games. I just think, like, for me, we played a CCG on this channel like a month ago, and I'm not going to pick up that game as a CCG because it doesn't make any sense. I want to be very clear. There is no CCG I play, and there's no game that comes out that's a CCG that I'm like, I'm in. If anything, sealed, maybe. But no, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, the thing that closest to slowing down the engagement is the homogenization across runner decks. There are many neat styles of core play, but the runner decks mostly feel the same. I agree with that. I know I mentioned this before, but when it came to corp side, I thought when I'm going to an event, there's like every faction has 2 or 3 corp decks that I would consider playing. As much as all of them probably aren't favored into the field, I still have a lot of options, it feels like. And on the runner side, it feels less so. And I do think it's because a lot of the runner cards across every criminal deck is like the same. The card pool is just too small. It's like every criminal deck is going to have the same base 75%. I 100% agree with that. I really struggle with the constant investment of money into TCGs too. Yep. Remember here my local fab community talking about cost recouping strategies for the World's 23 trip, and they landed on farming side events and bulk selling promos. You can make money. I've talked to a lot of people who've traveled and made their costs off of promos. Like at least those sell for something, but also the whole thing doesn't make sense. I'm not enjoying Runner right now because Red Crim doesn't feel risky and install Runner's King right now. I agree with parts of that. What the hell led us to this point? Letting the meta settle is boring. Keeping it spicy across the year by rolling a dice on card bans on bans. I hear that, but it's more so like if we think something is a problem, I think you should see if people can organically address the issue before just like, oh, Nebula is silly, let's ban it on day one. But I think you agree with that. You guys have found fun corp decks? Oh my god, yeah. We found so many fun corp decks. This Mitra Op deck is so fun. I think the acid versions are not to everyone's liking, but it's fine. They work out. Nuveng has been really fun too. I've really enjoyed the Nuveng list. Oko, for as like twisted as it is and as powerful it is, and as unfortunately as different as the Okos are, is really fun to play. I've been really enjoying, not that it's done anything in the meta, but Zwicky I've been having a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying Leo. Leo's been great. NBN, no, I sleep on NBN. NBN's not doing anything for me right now, but Wayland's doing a lot. HB is doing a bit. Jinteki is doing a fair bit. You have a couple options. And what's the last one? That's all of them. They're all great. Like they have some cool options. About 6 months, just opened the immersive Mewtwo and Pokemon TCG Pocket today and made everything worth it in my life. Congratulations, dude. I don't even need deck building really. I would play Netrunner even if had Summoner War style precons. Yeah. I think that's the sort of thing I'm looking for in other card games that I own, but I don't like hobby follow. It's like, if you want me to play Flesh and Blood, just give me precons that are of balanced and interesting, level. Just getting new cards to be fun. The release needs to be smaller. I'd be down. Yeah, I think a lot of people would. That's how it used to be back in the day. At this point, it's just work. Yeah, Jai, it's just work. That's for sure. But I'm assuming they're enjoying it and it's practice. But of course it is work. I never got into competitive play, but back in my MTG era, I would sell the highest cost cards of my pre-release sealed pool to recoup the cost of pre-release. Not the last pre-release I went to, but my other Flesh and Blood pre-release, I opened a card that sold for the whole pre-release. And it was like, fine. I spent an evening, I had a great time with friends playing Flesh and Blood. There are no fun corp decks, Lucille. There's so many fun corp decks. Ow, I hit my teeth. Only runner I need is Tripper Finale, Moosely. Hey, big one. That one's actually been really fun too. We should come back to that. This prototype was kind of fire. I think we can even make some changes. The recent published BANGUN deck is funny. Yes, I think that deck I would want to make some changes to, but Mancini posted like Mitosis BANGUN and it like seems fun. Flatlining has felt to go. Yeah, Jolin, you do have some options for flatlining. I think measured response is more powerful than I think I thought it would be. And she's been silent about Piggy Bank likely quietly pushing back the release date. No, like, okay, wait, what release date? We haven't got a release date. I think that is super pessimistic. I think NSG like has had some internal shakeups over the last couple months. They're figuring out what's happening. Mind you, this was in the middle of them moving their entire stock across America and doing all the other stuff and like tariffs. Admittedly, the team doing that doesn't design the cards. But yeah, I don't expect to hear something about the new set that soon after as hype it would be. On ban R plus already, no cap. I'm out. Everything about NBN has been a lot of fun. Yeah, NBN has been awful. Epiphany is really fun, and I think it gets overlooked. Oh, I haven't tried Epiphany, but the thing is, like, it's asset spam. And I feel like that is something that players are teched for. Pokemon TCG doesn't work as a game, but, like, I'm not going to be playing card games that aren't Netrunner, so I'm glad I have a little gacha with a game attached. Yeah, that's Pocket. But never play regularly, too much money. I hate gachas, the burning passion, not the card game. The card's fun. Yeah, that keeps me out of games. Oh, I was meant to bring this up. So I ran the numbers on this. I wrote some code the other day because I was like really interested about this. So this is our little segue here. This is totally off what we were talking about, but hey, you recognize this card? That's Saisentan, right? I don't like this card classically because it flatlines you. It's a really scary face check. But I didn't know what the numbers were. I had no idea what the numbers were of how lethal Saisentan was. So I wrote a little program that can calculate the Saisentan math. And I want to just ask y'all if you know the Saisentan math. Because I don't think it's super intuitive, right? So this is our hand. It has 5 cards in it. We have 2 events. The deep dives are events. The other corp cards, unfortunately, I don't have runner cards on hand, are non-event cards. Say that you run into this with a 5-card hand of 2 events and the corp calls event. How often do you die? With 5 cards in hand, 2 events, and they call event. The top comment on the card does this? Yeah, sir, and don't ruin my story. But yeah, I ran into that. I did all the math and I wrote a program and then I realized the top comment talks about it. But don't look at the top comment. I just want to know what y'all think the chance of dying to this is. 2 events. 15%, 96%. Not very often. 50-50 either happens or it doesn't. Like, what's the vibes check on this? 2 events, 3 non-events. You run into this. Can't be higher than 40? It's 0. You can't die. You can't die. It's impossible. Because the worst amount of damage a Saisentan can do is double your events. That's the worst it can do. You never flatline. Okay? Trick question. Sorry I opened on a trick question, but I opened on a trick question. 0%. Saisentan can never flatline you if you only have 2 events. Okay. Glad we got that out of the way. It's a bit of a trick question. Sorry we started there. Similarly, what about if this is our hand? 3 events, 6 cards. How often do you flatline to this? 0% of the time. Same idea. Saisentan can never do more than twice your events worth of damage. Also can never do more than 6 damage. So that should have been intuitive. But it's really funny how this is not intuitive, that you never die here. I think my vibes check is like 30% of the time I die. It's 0%. But then what happens if you change the numbers slightly and now you have 3 events? Because this can flatline you. We're aware of it. This can do 6 damage. How often do you flatline with 3 events in a 5-card hand? I thought you had 4 hand size. Oh, no, sorry. I had 5 hand size. I had regular hand size. desync 4. Like, this is a common situation. You run into Saisentan with 3 events. Is this all a bit to show off a deep dive promo? No, it's just what I had here because I have a lot of them because of prize support. Because these are from, well, actually, they have different card backs because I got them from different places. You need to hit 1 and 5, then 1 and 4, and then 1 and 3. Yeah, I don't know what the math came down to. I wrote a program that can just simulate it, so I didn't have to do the math. 33% of 30. Yeah, that's right. 33% of 30. It's 10%. Why are we so terrified? And by we, I mean me. Why am I so terrified when I die 10% of the time to this? 10% of the time do you die with 3 events in hand and a full hand to Saisentan. That's ass odds. Obviously, losing your whole hand in context of everything else in the game, that's a problem. You can't access cards. Oko just got 6 counters. Like, that's pretty bad. But, like, you only die 10% of the time. Next step. What about this? Hold on, I messed up. No, we got it. What about 4? 4 deep dives, 1 non-event. How often do you die to 4 and 1? I need to make sure I'm getting this number right. Let's run this a million times. So what's the vibe check on this? I think the vibe check on this is like way weird. If you ran into a Saisentan with 5 cards and 4 events, game loss. It's 40. It's still sub 50. I would assume that running into a Saisentan with mostly events in hand and they call event, I'm cooked. And even in this worst case scenario, you survive more than often than not. You survive 40% of the time. That's wild. And I just wanted to like focus on that for a minute because I was like, I don't even know what the numbers are. I just think I have a like idea of how dangerous Saisentan is. Obviously, Saisentan has an impact on the game. It definitely does. But it's only 40%. It's weird. You usually die to Saisentan when you're running with less than 5. Yeah, if you run to less than 5, so say that you have 4 cards in hand and 2 of them are, what's it called? Events. This you die to 50% of the time. It's just a straight 50-50. If you're 2 and 2, it's a 50-50. If it's 3 and 1, you can't die. And if it's 1 and 3, I think you die often, if not always. No, not always. You die like a lot. Maybe it's only 60, actually. This might be 60. So there's 4 cards in your grip, and 3 of them are events. Let's just run this a lot. That's a million. Oh, no, that's 100%. Yeah, that makes sense. That is 100%. That one does make sense. 3 and 1, you die. Yeah, it's weird how this is not intuitive to me after I still spent time like looking at this. But anyways, just so you know, I spent some time putting this code together. It didn't take that long. I'll be honest. But like at the end of the day, someone just wrote this in the top comment, and it's been here forever. And I don't think I saw it. Shout out to Spalding who wrote this in June of 2021. But the numbers are here. It's 10%, 40% chance. Obviously, with 5 the same type, it does 100% chance. But 10 and 40 being the like bad cases is hilarious. We need to run a million more times. I mean, it just gets more and more accurate. There's a floor of 3 damage. Yeah, 100%. There's always 3 damage. The most it can do is 6. I think it's slightly unintuitive that if you have 2 events, you're still like, oh, I hope I survive, but you always survive. Netrunner players will do anything but get a calculator. Look, I barely got through my probabilistics course. I did struggle through it, but I will just simulate it en masse. That's my easier way to do it. This rules because my current project is a breakdown of all the breaker math, and they're absolutely breakers that people will only let go of kicking and screaming despite being really bad. Oh, yeah. No, I think people are better with breaker math, but all I'm hearing is you like Saisentan now. I'm liking it. I'm not as scared of it, is all I'm saying. I still think I'd rather play this in every slot that is playing an empiricist because it just has more impact for less credits. And the break math on both of them, this one is a bit cheaper to break, that's for sure. Losing your whole hand is hard. Oh, no, for sure. But like this makes it feel so much more like I think the big thing was like, how does this compare to Kamainu? And I thought Saisentan was so much less fair than Kamainu. But it's actually more fair than Kamainu. It can kill you. That's the big difference. Like Kamainu never flatlines you unless there's a House of Knives circa 2024. But yeah, it is very comparable to Kamainu. The math is actually kind of cool. Like I think I appreciated more because 10 and 40% chance of death is like pretty slim numbers. Admittedly, 40% chance to lose the game if you face check with 4 events. Still is probably pretty bad, but I don't know how you calculate this. I'm not sure how you meant to do the math on this. I think it's simple, but I don't know. Now, Sisyphus protocol, so fires twice. Well, then you're dead. You 100% die. How's it going, by the way, Cody? Anyways, we got that out of the way. That was fun. Hey, other things I want to show off. We just updated this. So as you might know, Continentals in Montreal is approaching end of August. We have 3 alt arts. 2 of them are done. I need to put the text on them before we can show them. They're from some pretty great artists. I will be able to talk about that once I confirm with the rest of the team that we can talk about them. And then we have one that's currently being commissioned from a Netrunner GOAT artist as well. That one won't be ready in time for the early bird ticket, so you're not going to be able to see it, but I'll tell you who the artist is in a bit and what card we're doing once we get that approved. All I want to say is that I've updated this. So I've added a section about the team tournament. So this team tournament that we're running on Friday is a Crown of Service tournament. So it's teams of 3, and every player on the team has to play a different runner and corp faction. And so you'll have, 6 different factions represented. The runner and corp factions are, of course, Anarch, Criminal, Shaper, and Nova Inishuma. And then on the corp side, it's HB, Jinteki, Wayland, NBN, and you can play Ampere if you want. Team tournament's really fun. We're going to be playing 4 rounds of single-sided Swiss, and that's because we're going to be expecting less than 100 players. I think you only have to hit above 5 rounds once you hit like 150, something about there. It's double-sided Swiss though. Sorry, did I say single? It's double-sided Swiss. So you are playing 8 games of Netrunner, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're starting after lunch, so registration I believe is at like noon, 12:45, and the games start, or like opening ceremony starts at 1:30, and we're going to be done for dinner around 7 o'clock. So if you're coming in on the Friday, still, if you get in off the train at like noon, you're probably not going to make this, but I would highly recommend this. These Crown of Service tournaments, they're usually, when I go to Worlds, the tournament I get to play in because I'm usually part of the commentary and volunteer team, but they're just kind of the most fun. Team tournaments are kind of just the best. We're gonna have a trophy for this we're commissioning, and then we'll figure out what the other prize support for this is, but there definitely will be a trophy, and we'll have some prize support for this as well. That should be exclusive to this event. The other thing I want to highlight is that this Google form is up if you want to register your team. So far we have 1 registrant from the West Coast. We have Morrison, Berg, and Laird, very good lawyer firm, but you can throw in your name here. You don't have to put your full names and your handles. You can do whatever you want. Alec went pretty hard here, but just grab your team name, make sure it's not too offensive that I won't be able to say it on a microphone, and then you can put your names here. If you are a person coming to Conts and you're not part of a team, or you're 2 people who are going that you want a 3rd person, or anywhere in the middle, there is on the Discord server that you can find at the bottom of this article, or click here. There's a section called looking for teammates. So you can be like, hey, I'm 1 person coming in from this area. I'm looking for a team. Ideally, I like to play Criminal and HB, and then everybody will talk and end up on a team. That is not a weird thing. If you find yourself to be self-conscious about that, that happens all the time. Open agents or free agents are pretty common at these events, and it's a really nice way to meet people if you want to think of this as a social event. Cannot recommend enough. Team tournaments are sick. You're allowed to talk to your opponents, or you're allowed to always talk to your opponents. You're allowed to talk with your teammates and discuss lines and stuff. It's like kind of very special. Check it out. I enjoy, Andre, that doing the math is brute forcing a probability calculation. That's all I do. I'll just simulate it. It'll tell me what is right. 40 is not slim. I mean, it's worse. It's better than I thought it'd be. I miss Psychic Field. Oh God, I don't. That is awful. Carmen Game Dragon is actually decent. Chesva tied to until then. I'm not sure I love Carmen. We're going to find that line and just put 1 toe over it. That's what I'm excited for, Ian, to figure out. Just how offensive it can be when I'll still have to say it and be like, I can't talk to Ian about this. I did the math to verify your simulations. 4 events is 5, is 40% exactly to die. If any net damage hits the non-event, 3 events to 5 cards is 0.6, 0.5. That was like easy math. 10%. Yeah, that seemed like easy math. Only through a mediator. How's it going, Minesweeping? Anyways, that's all up. I updated this. We'll be updating this constantly with new stuff. If you're in the Discord, there's like a announcements thing, so we'll put some announcements there when we have more stuff to show off. But 2 of our alt-arts are in. The 3rd one is coming out. Probably will be out at the end of July, so it's going to take a while, but I'm really excited for that. This weekend, of course, if you want to watch some Netrunner, it is the Vancouver Megacities on the West Coast. You can watch that on twitch.tv/SindarinRP. I'll have the link to that in the description, but that's this weekend. Excited for that. As much as I'm across the other part of Canada. Speaking Conts update, are you getting a block of rooms in the hotel? No, we're not. So we talked to the hotel and they offered a block, but the block rates were not better than if you just book the hotel like a normal person. So instead of taking on the liability of whatever a block rate, there just wasn't a discount. If you want to book at the hotel, I've never stayed at the hotel, as you normally don't often stay in hotels in the city you live. It is relatively affordable. It is not the most expensive hotel. There's a lot of Airbnb stuff and a lot of hotels where downtown. We are very commutable. We're like 5 minutes away from a metro station. That is our subway station, let alone buses and bikes and stuff like that. But the hotel itself has, I would say, reasonable rates, especially if you're splitting with people. That can be quite nice. And then you'll be just upstairs, which is super convenient. And there's stuff to do and food in that area. So you don't have to go any much further down to Montreal as much as I'd recommend you to, because Montreal is kind of great. But yeah, the hotel block didn't make sense. We looked at the numbers and we're like, wait, that's the base rate. And they were like, yep. And I'm like, okay, well then we're fine. Doesn't make sense. All right, it's 10:30. Do we just play more Honest Issuaq? I mean, maybe we can do one more. Let's try this. Like, okay, so this is the deck people have been talking about, and I'm glad people brought it up because I wanted to try this too. I think the idea here is like kind of interesting. Think we're gonna try and rebuild it, but there's some cool things going on. Oh, JNet, or sorry, yeah, NetRunner, excuse me, has crashed. Give me 1 second while this loads. It's okay. I'm not sure if I should be consistently playing Game Dragon in my criminal deck. I feel like it's really good. But I think Leech might just do enough. I can't tell. Finally, good Bangun. Okay, so this is, Mancini wrote this. The idea of this deck is that you basically play agenda spam instead of asset spam. Because Bangun doesn't say one server. It says whenever you install an agenda face up. So we just want to put a bunch of agendas on the table. And the coolest way to put agendas on the table and to make them threatening at the same time is to play the cursed card Mitosis. Because again, when we Mitosis, we have to build new remote servers, and then each of these can be agendas with 2 advancements. And while unfortunately in the format, there's no agendas that scale with the amount of advancements on them to make them harder to touch, and there used to be back in the day, we can now put down like a Defested Trust and say like, if you want to steal it, it's going to be 2 meat damage and a tag, and another agenda on the table, which is going to be 2 meat damage and a tag, and then see what our opponent does with that information. Our agenda suite is okay. None of these are like obvious win conditions, right? Like false lead technically is, but we don't have a way of giving tags. So it's more about like false lead for damage threats and to measured. I think I'd rather want to play 3 Mitosis. This deck is like somehow still an acid deck on top of it, which makes no sense to me because we don't really have threat before we're on threat 4. So the opponent can just trash everything and not care because we can't hurt them. We have no way of giving tags besides our own text. So end of the line, I think it's good that it's there so our text is relevant, but like I don't like any of this acid part because I don't think we can acid spam at all. Unfortunately, Mitosis means that you can't have ice, so I do think having upgrades makes sense. You have to make new servers. I think NAPD Cordon's pretty cool because then not only do you Mitosis, you put counters and sorry, it costs credits to touch the card. It's going to be hard to score to 7. I think we're going to score to 5 and then lose on centrals because none of our text does anything on centrals. Wait, where's the econ? That's a cool trick. There's no econ. Your econ is really hoping that they don't trash your wall to wall and your antilles for some reason that you can't protect. Like this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I do think we can take out some assets. I think we'll figure out what agendas make sense. I'm definitely playing 3 Mitosis because it is the best. You can technically pivot a Mitosis, but you can only do that once you're on threat, but that is a cool line. And then we'll have measured responses or backup. I think we want to play 2 end of the line. We definitely want to play every measured response that we can, and we'll play Cordon. Petty Cash seems like fine. It's another hedge fund, but this deck's not even running hedge fund, but it might have liquidity issues. If it does more mental and economic damage to you, which one does, Jessica? Yeah, petty cash instead of hedge. I think this deck doesn't have a lot of money, but if you don't have a lot of money, I don't know how you play measured response. So I feel like you have to sort out that issue. I think playing Mitosis Bangun is cool, but I just don't think adding an asset deck to Bangun makes a lot of sense because if your opponent just has money, they should trash it. I think in the write-up, Mancini is talking about like, they'll just give up and not trash your bladder warts and walls to walls. And I'm like, I don't know why they would do that. That's all your money. They should just trash this. I hope Bangun says bad because this looks like a nightmare if it's good. I don't think this looks like a nightmare. Like if they don't drive Mitosis, the deck doesn't do anything. Like it really doesn't do anything. Like how many credits do they need to score out 7 points with this agenda suite? It'll literally take them a week and a half. So I don't mind. It's fine. This is just W grinder. Yeah, it will feel grinder if we can get Bangun to fire every turn, but you also do lose. Like you just lose to points. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Angelique, yeah, I like Angelique a fair bit. Mitosis has to be new servers. So like you can't put on top of an Angelique, but you can put Angelique on top of that. But I do think Angelique makes sense with measured response. This needs business as usual. Yeah, business as usual is really good. That's a good shout because you can put advancements on 2 cards, let alone purge. Let's try and build something like this. I think it'll be a fun build. But it's fun if you're putting agendas on the table. We don't have the influence for it, I don't think, Ryan, because if we spend 3 mitosis, 3 spin, that's all our influence. And I don't think we're going to be able to protect FUT. That deck had like 4 ice in it, 2 of them being a BOAC. So I think we're going to want some ice. I don't know how much ice is enough. It's going to be hard to say. But we'll definitely play 3 mitosis. I don't know how you don't play 3 mitosis. I think that's the only powerful thing that this deck seems to be doing. Let's look at the agendas. So we want to play as many small ones. I think we'll consider it above the law because it's really good. Oh, standard. That seems more approachable. ZF is not awful. The issue is if you don't install this card face up, you're not really doing anything. So we probably can't play this, but this effect is really good. Like, score 2 meat damage off of this is definitely fine. Divested, I feel like we're going to play this and just be total, like, annoying as much as we're not going to be playing 5/3s, I don't think. So that's fine. Eminent seems good. I actually think we want to play Eminence. We'll play 3 Eminence. I think that's a pretty reasonable card. I don't know if we play Green Mail. I don't think you want to mitosis a Green Mail. I think you could play Green Mail because it's a 1-pointer, but like this doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I think the amount of times that you want to put a Green Mail on the table and not score it from hand is like very, very minor. So I don't fully understand this. 3 BOAC? No, this deck wants like Shylendra. This deck wants Tithes. Like there's some really good ice for this deck. I played a few games of this and found that I couldn't really line the mitosis plays up. I went to 2 mitosis, 2 seamless. Oh, I'm going to go for 3 mitosis, but I think 2 mitosis, 2 seamless seems pretty good. If you go to threat, I would pivot mitosises. Eminent fetch a Green Mail for mitosis, score it. Eminent fetch a Green Mail for mitosis, score it. Lamplighter? I don't think we're going to be playing acids, so I don't really want to play Lamplighter. Eminent fetch a Green Mail. But you can't mitosis, you can't score the mitosis card, so I guess we do it on the next turn. We score an Eminent to grab a Green Mail. I mean, I see what you mean. That's kind of funny. I don't know if it's great, but it's kind of funny. The original deck was playing Slash and Burns. I guess? I feel like we're going to lose these to Centrals, but it gives us some like click compression, even if you expend just to get counters on things. I'll put this in the maybe camp. I'll put the Green Mail in the maybe camp and we'll look at neutrals. So neutrals, False Lead seems good. I think we can grab people a weird measured response, and False Lead interacts with BANGUN really, really well. We're playing blank ID. No, with mitosis, full non-blank, super on blank. The original version had 3 superconducting hub in it, which is like fine. I don't know what else you play in the slot, but like maybe. I think this is really good for the deck too. I think you meant M-Dum was already on 2 advance. Yes. Yeah, no, I get it. You mitosis the M-Dum, then you start your turn, you advance the M-Dum, score it. Then you get the Green Mail on the table and you do advance, score. That's kind of cool. As Yev and Slash feel like they go together, I think they do, but I think they're going to be hard to put face up on the table unless we're running ice. Mitosis doesn't interact with ice, but we can also just install cards. Like we can just put cards behind ice every once in a while. Like we probably should. I don't think we should do entirely iceless scoring because it's not going to work out. So it's either we play that's in a deck. That's a deck. Why is this? Oh, we have too many points. Wait, I added vulnerabilities. I was meant to add superconducting. We did. Okay. So what are we playing? 2 Slash and Burn, 2 Green Mail? I think that's fine. BUX for sure with Eminent? Yeah, I'm assuming so. Let alone all the 1-pointers. All right, so now we have to spend no influence. So we're going to play 3 Spin Doctors and assume that's the best thing. And then we'll just go through all the Wayland neutrals and make it make sense. I don't plan to run a lot of assets. I don't think we can stick a lot of them consistently with 4 ice. They should just trash our stuff. I think powers that be could make sense in the list. I think wall to wall is probably fine. We're going to have some amount of advanceable stuff. Assault is not bad with measured and divested. No, it's probably not bad, but I do think the idea of the deck is to play as many agendas as possible, which is not a good thing to do, let's be honest. Cool thing about BANGUN is that the face-up agendas cannot be Hermes bounced, which is like kind of the downside of playing a lot of small agendas. 3 Tithe, 3 Shylender, 3 Mask, done. That sounds like it, but we probably play a BOAC or 2. I like wall to wall. We'll see if this gets cut. We can't play powers. I don't think hostile makes any sense. I think clearinghouse could make sense too, but it doesn't make sense because we're installing our stuff face up. So as soon as we install something face down, it doesn't make sense. Antil is good too, but we'll see how much ice we have and then we'll cut this. Load bearing Rego? No, we don't need money. We're just gonna put stuff on the table. What is our ice? So we still have a lot of slots. So let's earmark 1 Afshar. We'll play 2 BOAX, I guess. We want some end the run stuff. Yeah, Masquerovka is really good. Tithe is really good. Shylender is really good. That's probably enough. Malapert is nice there and Angelique is mandatory. I think it's hard because if we're mitosising, you can't put them on top of upgrades. But I do think both of those are cool cards. One hammer? Yeah, hammer for tag is okay. I think we're going to have too many slots. I think we're going to have to cut some of these assets for sure. 17 agendas? That's the idea. That's the idea. Okay, we have like not enough money. So what can we play? So I don't think we need to play pivot. We could, but I don't think we need to. Maybe we play one or two. We'll put one. Yeah, NAPD Cordon's great. We'll definitely play NAPD. Mitosis NAPD is a fun line. That was in the original deck. Measured is good. Hedge Fund is good. We're already at 52 cards, so we have some issues. I think we need to play at least two end of lines because tags should matter. Mitosis works nicely with Mersha to ice it, but it's probably tight. Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be that good with that much ice. No money for Measured? Yeah, that's true. I don't think we can fix that unless we play Regolith instead of Antil, which might be right. I think we land one Regolith, we're happy. Business could make sense. This is two advancements, which works with our deck strat, so we could play two of these. If we just look at the upgrades really quickly, I would want to play Angelique, and I think that's all we play. Tucana's not awful, but like this is 58 cards, so we have to cut 9 cards. So we have too much ice. We have 13 ice, which is too much. So I think we cut the Afshar. I have no idea how we do afford anything besides losing. No, I agree, but I think we're going to find out together. 56. I mean, pivot's kind of cool. Maybe we don't need 3 Cordon. We have no money for this. Cut cards or add more agendas? Give it. I can't tell. Like, this is just going to be funny. I don't think it's going to be good, but I wanted to try it. Like, this is sick. This is so good. Install Superconducting Maskarovka. Shylander Centrals. Who cares? If any deck needs 3x Angelica, it's this deck. Yeah, you might have a point. How are we drawing cards to play? Base action. Let's see, how do you draw on Wayland? Base action. Oh, and you can play Antil. Look, I do think we cut this. I think this card's going to be too not great. I think this is a reasonable amount of ice. No, we could cut some ice. I think the Shylenders are expensive. The wall-to-wall is reasonable. Yeah, I think we'll add the walls back. I think we'll cut some ice. 2 Bioac. Yeah, this is too much ice. Maskarovka is fine. Shylander's too expensive. Tithe is just the easiest ice to put on the table. Bioac is fine. We want 2. So maybe we put 3 wall-to-walls and cut something. Tithe isn't doing anything. It could be money. No, this is really good. We need to put something on centrals that makes them cost money. We probably can cut a card here. We cut a Tithe. A Ket is good here. Yeah, Ket's pretty good. Tithe is great. Shylander's the dead weight. Shylander's much harder to break. We don't get the good. Oh no, this first advancement is actually really good for us. This text is good. Yeah, this text is actually really good. It's just expensive. Like, there's a chance that Shylander is like the secret sauce. Because advancing our cards is really nice. People break Shylander. No. But it's like, this is like Tithe. It's kind of like Tithe. I think you need 3 measured. I think if your deck has as bad card draw as us, you need the measureds. I don't think you do anything if you don't have access to measured. Like, you can't win. So I don't want to cut a measured. I think we do cut an Angelique. A Ket does it for cheaper. Yeah, that's good. I could see that. 2 Cordon. I like Cordon a lot. Mitosis Cordon is just such a cool line where it now costs 8 to run the remote server. Do we need end of line? Yeah, so the tag actually matters. If the tag doesn't matter, we don't have text. You need the tag to matter, so I think we have to play end of line. I think you could do maybe 1 end of line, 2 pivots, but I'm not sure how good pivot is. If we're not on threat, and we're not good at getting on threat. 1x Petty? Oh, I don't know about Petty. Petty doesn't sound great. Oh, we have 1 slot left over. 1x Petty seems so strange. Say this is our opening hand. It's so bad. It's so bad. Is all divested on the table? 3 Angelique or bust? Why, Daijin? Sell me on Angelique. This being so bad, we end up playing the same deck with Prov. Honestly, probably right. Oh, yeah. I really don't like the slash. Give me back like profiteering and shit like that. How can we not draw a mitosis? Draw a mitosis. Challenge draw mitosis opening hand. Impossible. Draw mitosis. Please just draw mitosis. Okay. Will we mitosis this hand after the mentor? Yeah. Mitosis these two. Hedge fund first. So now there's a divested on the table, superconducting on the table. Can we put Ang on centrals to snipe deep dive? Yeah, I think that's our best line against deep dive. Yeah, maybe. Cut the slash and superconducting, but then what are we playing? A better deck. Like we could cut these and then just play assaults. I don't know. I like the idea of playing all the one pointers. I could see us cutting a superconducting for green mail. I like this card a bit better. This is how we card draw. Like I know that if we play basalt, but I think this is what we're trying to do. Yeah, I like a ZF in this. The thing is, like, I don't think we have a lot of stuff to trash. Like a ZF is going to be difficult for us because its text is hard. Like we can't score it if we don't trash our stuff, and our stuff is going to be hard to trash. Like we have this many installables. Let's try this and see what we learn. Agenda spam. My guess is it's going to be awful, but I think it's also going to be kind of goofy. Import deck. Nope. I think we have a lot of like fundamental issues, like not a strong game plan, not enough money, not enough card draw. That's like not a good start, but we'll learn something. We'll run it unless she score and draws up. Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be a problem. It's like getting to 7's really difficult. They should ignore us, and none of our agendas. Like, I think players who know what they're doing should say that there are agendas you can leave on the table. We're gonna have a lot of dead turns. I'll give it a shot. There's only one true fundamental issue to the list, the ID. No, the ID is the best part. The ID is what mitosis makes sense. Yeah, the ID is the only good part of it. Mitosis is a good card. It gives a lot of click efficiency. Hey, Tehran. Ready for tomorrow? Bad into banging. Kidding me? Yeah, Don't Die Shaper is going to be unwinnable. What's the dumbest path, but it was not a good path. All right, Arasana. Like, what happens here when we do mitosis, false lead above the law, play Cordon? Isn't this the dream? Like, this is the dream hand. We'll have no money, but like, I cannot ask for a better hand here. Good luck, have fun. We're gonna get hit by what's it called? It's perfect. Each of these costs 8 credits. Get transferred? That's fine. That is such a good opening. That is such an absurd opening. We have a money issue. Like, if we score both of these, we're on 3 points, but we have a false lead above the law. We have no money, and we're on threat 3. I could not ask for a better hand there. BAU's transfer tech? Yeah, we cut them because of slots. I don't think it's going to be good draw most board states. So you can install a resource, which is going to be kind of restricting to just Shaper playstyle. I'm assuming this deck is... Yeah, that's fine. Just sending that off to the sea. Mayagi! No, she's gone. You can score both for a click and a credit? Yes. We probably will. So Simulchip brought that back. That's actually hilariously cool. That's such a cool line that you coalesce so Arasana trashes it, and then Simulchip it back. You didn't play at event? So we definitely score the false lead. If we score the above the law that does nothing, we get it. If not, Tron has to run it, and Tron can easily run this because our text is not good. But now at least we have false lead. Issues we're not on threat 4, and we have no money. And this is going to be a click for credits for a couple turns. This is why I don't understand the assets. Like, why don't they just trash the assets? So now we're going to stall out. But it was a good turn 1, wasn't it? I don't know what we could top deck that would be happy about. Crash Maze tomorrow? Yeah, for sure. Schmendrix, how's it going? Lily Pad Unity? That's not going to line up well against the Shylendra. We'll see what it takes to be illuminated. Oh, that's okay. That's actually pretty good. we install this, Arasana can do something. I'm assuming Arasana wants to do something, so I don't think we install it. It loses the advancement. So if anything, we can put it on R&D. Now let's just get it on the table. We know all the points are R&D. This is good on R&D. Hoping I need something to watch while putting Earthborn Rangers into sleeps. Oh, did you get the new stuff? I know Pat got the old stuff, and I just got the shipping notification today for the new stuff, but I don't think it'll be here tomorrow. This opening would be good if you had Oppa and Align as a win con. Yeah, but influence. Yeah, that's why we try not to install stuff. That ice might have been wrong. This has to go down. You got new and old. Okay, sick. My stuff is coming from Board Game Bliss. They usually ship pretty fast, but I definitely won't have it before the weekend. Really excited. No action. Fine. Oh, cool. This is where like we're totally stuck unless we get card draw. That would have been a really good wall-to-wall if it stuck. The wait for the new EBR has been brutal. I've been wanting to play so much more Marvel Champions, but Wolf work has been all consuming recently. Ah, sorry, Roshni. Great part about that game is it's very easy to get a bit of it onto the table, right? Like I think you can play a game in 40 minutes, which I've liked a lot. Still waiting for my shipping alert. It'll be soon. I got some of the nice wooden pieces too, which I feel like is going to do a lot. Okay. I'll use this. Mitosis 100% goes back in as our best card, and I think Cordon's our second best card. We just need slightly more money here. But oh my god, are we doing nothing? Like, Jinteki Shell Game used to play like this? You getting Falcon and Winter Soldier tomorrow? Almost no way. Like, Canada gets them about like 6 to 8 weeks late. I don't know if the release date is meant to be tomorrow, but I'd be super surprised. Okay. I think we just click 3. I have a campaign running now, and I'm super curious about the expansion will fit in. Can you insert it halfway? Like, just get new player? Like, I'm so excited for new deck building cards, let alone the new campaign. I haven't even got my shipping notification. Yeah, I don't think it'll be tomorrow. Sometimes you don't think it's an agenda because we would have installed it face up. And I think we would have. I ordered new plus older Earthborn, but no shipping notification. Okay. Yeah, it might be a bit. I think all of Canada is being dealt with from the same folks. And it looks like they're just sending out the new stuff now. Ah, look at Toronto playing a Euro board game over there. Don't know what's happening. Yeah, I do think the deck building in that game wasn't that great. So having more cards should help. Oh, that's a lot of money. Hopefully we can do something fast. We could score this out and be on threat 4. I think we do. Oh man, imagine we top decked a Mitosis. I think we just score this and throw out a pivot. So now we're in threat. So if Toronto ever between the wrong clicks ends up, oh no, but we use the false lead, we're off threat. That is so funny that we're going to use the false lead to measure response and lose it. We can now BOAC. I don't want to res the BOAC though. This deck is on Physarum, so I'm going to throw out the BOAC. Watching 2 do nothing decks. Well, I don't think he has to do anything. We'll just lose to deep dive eventually. Yeah, this sucks. We have no money. This one costing 2 to trash is pretty low. The new range of cards in the middle of a campaign is weird. I just do rebuilds. Seems fun from my understanding. The new campaign is meant to continue after the first. Yeah. Yeah, I would just start again. Okay. That's not good. If we had more money, we'd win here. The problem is we don't. And that's why Tron does what Tron is doing. Oh man, we lost very good cards. We have no way to get money here. I think we just put this on the table and click twice. Do we use the spin? I think we do. We just put it behind the tithe. We could advance this once. Yeah, Evelyn, we're trying some assets. We have 17 agendas in this deck. We're trying to do agenda spam. Kind of think top-down solutions does what we want Mitosis to do. The advancements are really, really important. So that we actually can threaten to score. Because if we put 2 agendas on the table, we can't score them the next turn. Unless we get the advancements. No! Our win con! It's trashable. And we don't do anything. We're not going to use false lead here. Oh, this is the Windows Saucy deck. Tron played against this against Sokka the other day on stream. It's really fun. Oh, we win. How did that happen? Huh? Yeah, I don't think I had to steal that. AK Games, yeah. I drew a lot of measures. Yeah, we could even pivot for it. So if we were, I guess we would need more credits to do that, but we had another way in. God damn it, MR. MR just wins games you have no reason to win. Someone's gonna die. You just put it behind the tithe. You don't care. Yeah, that's all of them. Yeah, it's clear the tag. If Tron didn't clear the tag, we can pivot for the end of the line. Yeah, it usually is. I have pivot too. But I don't think I can afford that. Oh yeah, we could click for credit. So it's hard. Yeah, credit. No, because pivot's a double. We have to do credit pivot, so we couldn't. We were short. We were 1 short from that. Because pivot's double to play the thing, so the best we do is credit pivot, and then we only have 5. Yeah, I'm 1 short. Yeah, we could have pivoted for end of line if Tron floated the tag. And after popping the environmental, maybe you can float the tag there, but that's why we also play the pivot. Next game. You ready for tomorrow? This deck needs more econ? Yeah, it needs a lot of things. I don't know how to give it more econ. It's like 17 agendas is just a bad slot. Hell yeah. Like, yeah. Going to be excited to watch. Good luck out there, eh? Oh, cool. I saw you play Sokka the other day. Yeah, Exodus had such a busted opening against Sokka. Where it was like saucy D-res, 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 running the remotes over like 3 times in a turn. Tron didn't have to fully break tithe. Yeah, you're right. If Tron didn't break tithe, that'd be fine too. Could have given us a credit. And then Tron would have been on 8. That's also a good line. You don't have to break all of this. Hey, cheers. We'll run it back. We've learned nothing. We drew the most busted opening, and even then, like having those 3 points, all it did is got us to measured. What is tomorrow? APAC Megacities. APAC Megacities is tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I know Tron's playing EMEA. The EMEA Eternal thing. Play more Tithe? I like Tithe a lot. Tithe is good. Just ping 1. There's not a lot for ice that's always relevant. Let's give it another shot. Like, what we should do is play less agendas. And then once you play less agendas, you realize you're playing every other BANGUN list. And then every other BANGUN list is still a BANGUN list. Maybe petty over hedge when we're low on credits. There's probably some truth to that. Let's try it. The issue is like if we can't play hedge fund, we can't win. But maybe that's the beauty of petty, is that it allows us to get out of that bad hole that we find ourselves in. I would like rather play petty on top of hedge fund because I think we have an econ issue. I don't know if you change the deck, does it queue you out? Angeliques weren't super relevant. The ice was fine. It's like we shouldn't play this many agendas. We could have traded the false lead for the divested. Divested is actually like not great in this deck, but it's really annoying if you get the scored early. Like if we got a divested above the law early, that'd be good. I don't know how we add money to this. Like I think we cut Angie. But it's like playing 17 slots on agendas. It's very hard to find slots for other stuff. I'm not sold on the Angelique, but I think we just don't have money. Divested is econ? Yeah, sort of, but when you spend 3 credits, like it's a lot to advance that thing out to get 5 back. All right, Seb, we're gonna have some money issues. We're gonna have some pretty bad money issues. Oh no, Seb likes our text. Uh-oh. I'm mitosising this hand. I have a mitosis I keep. Yeah, we're going to be dumpstered by Seb transfer. Oh, that's better. We don't have to play the superconducting. GG next? I mean, maybe. Best of luck. Have fun. Hey, Maddie. This one? Hold on. We're going to get a bit darker in here. Yeah, it's going to be good lighting. Either we put the wall-to-wall on the table, then transfers a 50-50. The wall-to-wall means we can slightly duck transfer. It'd be fine if it fires. It's credit neutral. The deck that makes you giggle is a good deck. I mean, not if we make no plays. If we were like clicking for 3 credits on turn 2 and then transferring them immediately, I'm like, I'm not in. The pivot's not bad, because pivot into end of line is like a line. Because Seb might end up floating a tag. But like Hannah is so good into the deck, friend of a friend is good into the deck. There's some really bad things for us. Oh, sick. I wonder if you just run these and then just like clear the tag with friend of a friend. We can't ice up archives. Our first ice goes on archives after HQ. Oh, sick. This only advances ice, right? Yeah. Draw a card, gain a credit, add it back to hand. What do we get with this? A BOAC for HQ, I guess? Wait, this is sick. It's going to get destroyed, but like, it's kind of sick, isn't it? Hell yeah. BOAC the wall to wall? I think we just have to not get transferred. You're right. Protecting the wall to wall, there's some point to it. But then if Duckland doesn't trash the wall to wall, it's fine. Alec, you excited for the weekend? You ready? Yeah, we're gonna lose R&D, by the way. We have 17 agendas. Like, this just happens. Like, oh no, she's running R&D. That's very bad for us. You always run the Eminent there? I think so. I think you can let the superconducting. Ah. We're credit short. Did we turn off a light? Yeah, we did. Maddie is in bed right now. This light shines right at her. Shit, what are we throwing out from this hand? Hedge fund pivot? Are we gonna be holding 4 agendas? I think so. Oh wait, we have 7 hand size. Never mind. Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, you're right. Nothing. Ooh, we're glad to see a Steelskin played. That's a really good card against us. Best top deck here would be a Cordon, I think. Gourmand can't trash agendas. This trashes ice. We're unhappy. Oh no, trash the Cordon. So I think we just don't do our play here. I think we just do this. And then next turn we do mitosis into falsely divested. No matter what. Well, not no matter what, actually. Because she steals. Wait, she had a tag there? Why does she have a tag? Can we have won? She had 4 cards in hand? No, we can't win. If we drew an Angelique, we would have won there. No, we were short of credit. Yeah, she's just been floating the tag. You're right, this is going to be interesting. This is kind of annoying. If we had the Cordon, if that survived, it'd been really, really quite good. So each of these, this vested trust, we can return agendas after they're stolen. If she wins, you can't fire this. Amanuensis seems good, but she definitely wants to float tags for Amanuensis, which is really good for us. Audrey, okay, so she needs to trash things. You can't trash agendas. Gourmand is not imp. So Manuel is scary for HQ, but we're going to be on game point. She floated a tag. If we drew an Angelique there, we won. Can't res all of this. But we now have measured online. Bangun would still work versus imp anyways. Oh, it's on Axis? Yeah, you're right. It would still. Yeah, that's good. We have to res this. It might be okay to advance itself, but like she really just needs to gourmand something. So if the agenda is not that bad. That was expensive. Maybe we don't res that. This takes us off threat, but it gives us money. I'm going to do it. And then we can score next turn. Imagine divest and trust a 1-pointer. Yeah, we got a hedge fund. Sick. She has no tags. We have a hedge fund, but we're... Oh! Chat, how have we drawn 3 mitosis? I don't know, Jai. It's working. I think we put the slash on the table. This is incredible. We just do credit? Like, green mail actually might have been better. But we can score this next turn. It might have been better to be a green mail here. But we're technically on 6 points. Put all 3 on the table? You might be... Oh, we're losing our HQ ice. Never mind, she's letting us have this? Yeah, this was bad. I don't think we have to score these. This has been the happiest Andre's been playing. I know, but we drew 3 of them. So we're going to lose this Issuaq. So I think we just score the green mail. The slash and burn's probably worth scoring. You def score this? I'm not sure. Actually, you're probably right. It's too late now. I think we should... Well, now she loses. You're right. We could have scored both of them, and then next turn she loses the green mail, but now she has to run at least one of these. Yeah, that was probably wrong. Yeah, false lead's the good score for sure. Issues, we're not going to have money. Yeah, so we should have scored to duck transfer. Yeah, we fucked that up real bad. Because if we didn't have money, this is actually okay. Because we can false lead here, and then she floats a tag. The issue is we don't have cash. We can just score the false lead next turn. I don't think she can run these, though. We might be okay. This is where if we top deck the business as usual, we would... I think we would win on 0 credits. So she's going to see 2 cards here. Spin. Measured. Bummer. Got to keep the pivot, which is maybe more important. Nope. Thinking. So if we false lead, what are we doing? Not much. No, it's all good. I think it's good. Because now we can do credit, advance the slash and burn, go on 6 points. I think that's fine. We can in theory like trade the false lead for a false lead. Yeah, good. That's a good steal. But now she's super tagged in. Maybe we should have made the trade. Yeah, we probably should just score these on the table. Cool. Fuck. I don't think there's a world where we don't just score this. We have no money, so we can't threaten a win. Like, we are totally toothless. So I guess if we top... Nah... Install FL score, FL credit. We can install this one. It's better on the table than an HQ. I think we should just get this on the table. I scoring green mail and passing turn now scoring 3 points off the table. I agree, but I thought we were going to lose them. I think it was better to score off the table, though, for transfer, not because of the green mail. But yeah, I don't like scoring this one, that's for sure. I think we just do this and click for credit. It gives a Lagu draw. Yeah, it's. I don't want to just lose it to Manuel. So I'd rather put it on the table. Seb's text doesn't work if you're tagged. So like she has to remove tags. One of them will come off of the solidarity badge, but the other one she has to remove. We could purge, but gourmand into HQ means purging the Audrey doesn't make sense. Oh, let alone ban her into archives. That's fine. She knows that we can't score this next turn. Yeah, I feel like we scored the table would be good. I think we just need to score the blank 2-pointer. I don't know if this should be in the deck. This probably could be an Aziev. I guess we would have Aziev the Cat. It would have been pretty sick. All right, no stress. Wait, what happened? Basalt Spire? I don't think I want to play with the 3-pointer. Oh, she bottomed it before taking money. Okay. Yeah, all good. Yeah, she threw out to Audrey a strike fund, but then she hit buffer drive first before the strike fund fired, and then it eats its effect. So you want to do strike fund first. Okay. So to be able to threaten 4 damage, we need 4 credits. We're going to lose this. This is what's going to happen. I think we're going to be able to get to 5 points, which for Issuaq, that's good enough. So now we can't win. If we click for 3, we just lose our money, so we can't do that. So we're totally forked here. Guess. This means we can duck transfer, but yeah, transfer is going to be a problem for us. If we could shoot up to like 10 credits, we'd have a game. That's such a silly sentence. But like, if we had money, we'd be a threat. If we were playing a non-Issuaq deck, we should rename the stream. All right, we'll just res the duck. I'm surprised this is coming down for 1 credit. Score to lose. I know, it was the worst thing we did. No Corden. No hedge fund. So what did she do? Friend and trash the wall to wall? She's not too upset of us drawing. Oh, floats the tag. Okay. 7 cards, 5 cards in hand now. We can't really purge yet. We still haven't got praxised, but like, yeah, the game is... game plan doesn't make a lot of sense. I think the money is the biggest problem. I think if we just have more money in our deck, we have teeth. I don't think there's any way for us to get money besides clicking for credits, which does not keep up to a competitive runner. We're happy with the crew trade on any of these ice. No cards and 2 credits? Yeah, I know. We top deck an agenda, just goes on the table. I thought there were Regos. No, we have wall to walls instead. But I'm not even sure we can play Rego. Like, I think we just play more operations. I guess we're botchlisting this? Breaking the advancement? Oh, we're Audreying the rest? Okay. That's 2 cards from hand. That's risky. But you're 3 mitosis and it's not, yeah, it's gonna be, no, that's bad. So we have 2 more real 2-pointers. We didn't want to draw that, I guess. 4 cards in hand. Without money, we don't threaten anything. That's a really good card to have in hand, though. We click for 5. The 3rd transfer is unaccounted for. Oh, no, they're all in the bin. So I think we have to click for 5 and then top deck Angelique. I think we know where 1 steel skin is. I think the other one's on the bottom of the deck. But this card can get us out. This is also a deck that would, in theory, want touch-ups, but can't play it. Ugh. Okay, we're getting siphoned again. Oh, she sees 2 cards when she runs here, yeah. In theory, this could go poorly. If she spends 2 cards on this. She lost a Banhar. We could just lose to this. She's going to go +1 card. There's only 6 agendas in 21. Trash the spin doctor, okay. She knows you have the end line. Oh yeah, you're right, because she saw 2. Action. Oh, interesting. So what did she see? It was Solidarity Badge. Okay, so Spin Doctor, an unknown card. If it was an Angelique, she would have trashed it. Transfer's coming through, so we could false lead. I don't think we win on points, so we could consider false leading here. Angelique cost 1. So we could draw once, find 3 and 21 Angelique. Angelique end the line. I think we do the false lead here. We could also just tempo end the line. Fuck. Do we tempo end of line? Oh, it hurts so much to do tempo end of line. Because that is our win condition, but we need credits. Yeah, the transfer in hand is what is worth, but like we could put the vest on the table, click for 6, and then we can still threaten the score. 100% it hits the transfer, but I think with 3 Angelique in our deck, we should hold on to this. I'm worried about the Gourmands coming back with some praxis because we still haven't seen a praxis yet. We could also just put the second ice on HQ. And that means, oh, you have Audrey counters for days. Transfer will get bottomed by buffer if you end a line. Yeah. I don't think that's a big deal. You can always buffer drive the other end of the line. I think we just put this on the table and click for credit. This means that if she runs R&D and then steals this, we lose. But I don't think we can tempo end the line. Maybe we could tempo end the line, put this on the table. That's kind of interesting. But with Lago, you go +1 card. She made money off of that. Fuck. Just click for credit. So even if we get transferred, we can score this out. I think this is what people are realizing in acid decks too. Is like the decks that play like 6 ice feels useless because there's enough tricks to invalidate. And why I think we're seeing a lot of the Oko decks like start to play like 11 ice. Because you actually need a modicum of ice. This is probably not good for us. Yeah, because we lose the end of line guaranteed. We can't res this. Yeah, we're cooked. We should have conceded a while ago, I think. There's still a hope. But like here, if she gets the Botulus, I mean, not the Botulus, the Gourmand, we're in a bad spot. I don't mind those. Hand is not good for us. Yeah, this we lose too. She took a couple risks. I think we just didn't have any of the money. But I do think overall this is probably a really bad matchup. I don't know what we use false lead if we were going to capitalize on the tag. It was a wild chance of drawing the Angelique. We had a 3 in 20 shot of top decking the Angelique, and then we would have done draw Angelique end of line. I think we were just taking those chances, just in case. But yeah, no, it definitely didn't work out. But it's like one of our best shots to close the game out. I think this transfer is not that bad. Like playing the end of line is functionally transferring ourselves. Like, yeah, she doesn't get 6 credits, but like we need to keep our money up to play this. It still might have been right to do it, but I think if she's aggressive, she just buffer drives the thing back. That seems better. We can't end the turn now. But yeah, if unless she like gourmands the Shylender, but she does know that we have this in hand. Yeah, with that, we still have another one in the deck, I think. I think we have 2 end of lines. Yeah, we have another end of line. We could draw that. I think on 3 credits, she can just run this. It doesn't matter. Oh, she had another gourmand. She probably drew that with the gourmand. No action. We could trade a 1-pointer for a 1-pointer. That might be reasonable. Yeah, I think we do. Nah, false lead's cool. Like, we're going to lose anyways. I think we just have to, like, rip the top deck really well. Okay, so there was a steel skin in hand. So it's not still consistent. Trapping the praxis is good. Still on 5 cards. Yeah, we could trade the false lead for this, which maybe is good. Because then if she steals a 1-pointer, we don't lose. Stick's not good. 15 credits. Now that you have to play around measured. Oh, well, good game. I forget how many agendas we still have left. 6, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's still 4 agendas in R&D's 15. If I end the line also had a chance of hitting multiple praxises. Yeah, the praxis was good. There was one more gourmand. It might have been worth it. But I feel like we're so far behind that I don't think we have to play to not lose. Solmir, I think we have to play to win. I think we could talk a lot about how this matchup actually works out, but I don't know. I don't think we can play to not lose because I still think we lose even if we hit all that sort of stuff. The best we can do is play to win. And so like our win there was like top deck it. Maybe the fact that we didn't top deck, we have to pivot, but I don't think we can take a passive line. Well, sorry, that's not even a passive line, but not a winning line, immediately winning line. Yeah, it's Banhar. Or Audrey. Gets a card out of hand. Actually, maybe not. Maybe we should be on 3 so that we can do top deck. Oh no, we only top deck 1 card. This deck was kind of cooked as soon as they put Lago on the table, let alone everything else. Like I think on turn 1, she could have contested with friend of a friend. She took the tag from everything else. But this matchup is like, if you can't keep HQs, like we have no shot. We have no money. We can't take a transfer. Stream Tail also works for BANGUN planned. I mean, we scored a 6, I think. Thanks to the game. But yeah, I don't think this is going to hold up. So what's left? We have an end of the line. We have 3 Angeliques in the bottom. Yeah, we still really narrow out. BANGUN doesn't seem good. No, I don't think you're going to find anyone who tells you it is. I think you had it on lock. I can't really do much without money, and I can't stop you from taking my money. How do you get the money in? You're feeling good until you ran out of mitosis? I know, but also it's just like at that point, once the runner has enough stuff down, they're not scared of your ability. If we had money, it'd been good. But like we spent 9 credits on mitosis and then scoring out. I think if we scored out the slash and burn, we had a better line. I do think we kind of biffed it a bit. We could have scored the 2 things on the table and bid on game points. And that's probably a better spot to be in. Because the green mail, I think she has to snipe at that turn, but then it means the transfer doesn't go through. So I do think we misplayed. I don't know how you add more money to the deck. What is KPI for credit positive scoring? I think we'd rather go for business as usual because it's cheaper and it advances 2 cards. The issue is like that is still probably a worse card than petty cash. Like the worst part about this deck is the 17 agendas. I think we should make this more reasonable, but then like, why are you playing this? The hub was kind of nice. It wasn't bad. The slash and burns feel like such a brick, but I don't want to play basalts because that feels like a worse brick. I don't know. We'll play one more. I think that's gonna be a bad matchup regardless, but we still have narrow margins. I like that. It's not so bad to be playing 2-pointers. It gets the threat 4 for measured faster. Yeah, actually, hold on. I do think we should try as Yef. Have mitosis sounds better at least. I do imagine it would be because you can just get 1 agenda on the table and 1 agenda is your win condition. The thing is like, do we play orbitals? Maybe we do. So let's cut the stuff that we don't want to be playing. So say we cut superconducting, say we cut slash, and then we have to play a couple agendas. So if we play Azyefs, that's an option. But I think we'd play orbital. Oops. The thing is like, they always run orbital, right? Like you can do this. This only has 1 fewer agenda, but it gives us 1 deck slot. How did that happen? Oh, because we cut 1-pointers, right? We could cut green mails and play Azyef. The eminence seems important. Never cut slash, you need audacity to win often. Yeah, that's probably true. But this is how we win often, right? Orbital Angelique, mitosis. I just think that we don't have money. We're still in a bad spot. We're in a really bad spot without money. The coordinates are cute, but they're not money. I wonder if the spin should just be a regolith. Well, sorry, the wall-to-wall. We'll just try 3 regolith and say if we get a regolith on the table, they don't run it. We take 7. That's enough for us to win. Wait, do we have an extra deck slot? Yeah, we do. I'll just play a Panic Petty Cash. I don't know how this updates, whether you have to like select the deck again. We'll try that. I think you're right. Closing games are going to be hard, but I think our close game thing is measured. And just having 3 points of green mails. I feel like if you don't draw mitosis at all, this deck is going to feel awful. Just the worst. All right, Hoshiko. They want to run cards. Hey, best of luck. Have fun. We'll go for them all. All right. We got our petty cash. We got our hedge fund. We got a big old monitor. False lead. This pushes us in 2 different directions. Will you sell those as cons? These t-shirts? I haven't considered it. These are really expensive to make. And when I sold them back at Worlds, I think I sold them for a loss. Because I was embarrassed of how much they cost. I think I probably should. I think people will be interested. So we could do hedge fund, face up divested, BOAC. Let's see what happens here. Like, if we're going to BANGUN, we'll BANGUN. We can't res this. They don't know that. Would we rather score this or a false lead? I can't tell. False lead might be a bit more important. You were selling t-shirts at Worlds. I don't remember that, but I also didn't have a budget for them. Yeah, I was. Not like on the channel. Well, actually, maybe. I don't know. I think I asked locally, like Montreal folks and maybe Toronto folks. I don't think I asked on the channel, but I printed like 2 dozen maybe. Oh, Hill's going for it. Fuck. That's the worst case. This doesn't have text. Yeah, these shirts were printed in a shop in Toronto. They are not like made off somewhere. They were like t-shirts that came to a printing store in Toronto. Even like Quinlan picked them up because he was there. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got our divested trust, which is good. I wonder if we should have petty cash instead of hedge fund. I think we should have. No, this pads our hand. I guess this does too. All right, so that we have safety and we have credits. Here's like you both agendas face on the table. Yeah, maybe we should have and not put the ice. I think there's some chance that was correct to put 2 on the table because it's hard to deal with 2. I think that's a big thing with BANGUN is like 1 is doable, 2 is very difficult. But then they pick their favorite. I'm assuming they would have picked the false lead. We got unlucky on the 1 and 3 there because I thought they would also charge the table. Banhar, that's fine. Host flipping out Taka, that's fine. If we put the eminent face down, we don't get text. So let's draw for an ice. We have to put this face up, but then they definitely run it. Why wouldn't they run it? We'll just grab it back. We'll just grab it back with invested. We don't care. They have to run it twice, and we make money. We're doing the BANGUN thing. I don't think this is a good plan, but it's what our deck wants us to do, so we'll do it. If they run it, we gain 5 credits. They take a tag and 2 meat. They don't have a lot of money, so like clearing the tag is not easy. They want a Hoshiko flip, so they want to touch. This play looks so audacious that this, like, Banhar beats it, but this could, I guess, be... I can't even tell what this would be. That'd be good into this. Like, envelopment? But that would just be 2 net for 5. Let alone they can trash the ice. They have to break all the subroutines. I wish envelopment saw some play in rush decks. But outside of op, it feels like it makes no sense. I'd be happy if it made some sense. All right, starting there, that's fine. I think we'll grab it back, but then if they run HQ, we're really upset. Lost a Tide and a Buzzsaw. That's good. Not that we really... Yeah, F it. It's mine now. Development might not be terrible here. Unfortunately, we have other options. I just don't think it's as good as Maskarovka, but if they let the trash subroutine, we paid 5 for 1 time. Like, are they going to go back with a Hoshiko for the 1 and 4? Oh my god, if they hit it, I'm gonna be so upset. Oh no, get out. Get out. Get out. Stupid divested trust. They couldn't trash anything. That's the 1 and 4 they hit. They hit a 1 and 4 and a 1 and 3. Paladin for twinning. Okay. God, that's bad luck. Hoshiko flips. I don't need money anymore. Time for Rego money? I don't even think we need it. I'd rather draw an agenda there, 100%, or let alone an ice. I didn't even consider we could have res the BOAC, but it was definitely not right for like 2 different reasons. Their money's not good. They need a fermenter. There's a fermenter. Oh, this is sick. We hit a twinning and a Banhar. If they trash this, they'll be on 1 credit and they'll be stuck in Hoshiko. So now they'll be on 0 credits next turn. We can't capitalize on that unless... I think we just have to keep jamming this and see what happens, because I'm not sure. So we do install orbital advance. They have to run it. So they can crack to 4. They can run this. I think we just grind them because we have measured in hand. I think we just grind them. Yeah, this jam's good because it's either they don't run end the line or they do run measured. This is a sick mitosis deck. I think the twinning install is going to cost them. That was very expensive. So if they don't run this, we can like trash the banner. We can trash the twinning. We can end the line, of course. So in theory, they drop. They're okay. Yeah, they're going for it. So they can barely clear the tag, but then they should die to measured. They hit Azimon and Rising Tide. Okay. Yeah, good game. Good game. Yeah, that's the no fork, and people are not respecting the no fork. They're going for it. Hey, thanks for the game. Those rips on HQ were so hot. Yeah, the return for the Eminent was like amazing. And for what it worked out for us because it went back to we got to threat 4. So I don't know, letting that go through feels so bad because you lose your Banhar, you're twinning for sure, let alone end the line. But if you run that, like you die to measured 100% of the time. It's a really hard thing to call that. It's so much work to juggle MR and end the line. I think MR is a really hard one to juggle. Like 8 credits is so much money. Thanks for the game. Yeah. Unless you lose it immediately. But hey, we got to threat 4. We just played honest. It's honest BANGUN there, which is kind of funny. Hey, cheers. Like none of that saw any of our influence. We could have played public trail and we probably would have been in a better spot. I would have appreciated a mitosis that we did have multiple agendas. I think we'll just do one more. These games are fast. Oh man, so I'm really worried about going to sleep. Last night was bad. So I've talked about this before. I have some sort of stomach issues and we're seeing a specialist on Wednesday, which is a while away. Obviously you'd want to do that sooner. And so I was really excited because last night we found out one of the tests you can do for the situation I'm in is called a urea breath test, in which you breathe into some sort of machine. And then within 30 minutes, they can figure out whether you have this certain bacteria in your intestine that commonly causes some of the issues that I have. I couldn't find someone who did it that we could book, but we found somewhere. And so we booked it for this morning. Ooh, ESSA is going to be interesting. Thanks, you too. I wonder if we could just get sabotaged. None of our agendas far from archives. Oh my god, we have so many agendas with the ESSA. What was I going to say? Yeah, the short of the long is, hold on, let me finish this turn. So I want to ice HQ. I think we put Biowak on HQ, we hedge fund, and that's all we do. We put Tithe on R&D. I think we just play normal for turn 1. Because I'm going to score the green mail just so we don't get... Like, this is such a good mitosis hand. Okay, so I booked the thing at 9. F. Max punish. Max punish. Wait, this is gonna be awful. Hold on, my story's totally derailed. We're getting smashed here. The original of the also said the JNet game's no ESSA. Yeah, I know. ESSA doesn't have money though, so we can just put 2 on the table and see what happens. Oh, we can't do 2 because without mitosis we can't score 2. So I think we have to push divested. Let's try something like that. Anyways, the short of the long is I'm getting heartburn. And one of the things you can treat heartburn with, or more accurately, this is fine. The thing, this is bad. One of the things you have to do before the test is, oh wow, I guess we lose very quickly. God, this is such a blank ID. You're not allowed to take heartburn medication before you take this test. So last night just kind of sucked. because you just have to like live it through to be like, you can't take medication for 24 hours before this thing. So I stayed up a lot of the night not being able to sleep, which wasn't good. Oh, we put the spin in here, which is not good either. I had so much heartburn for years, damaged my throat. Turns out to be gluten and some other FODMAP things, mostly gluten. Yeah, Jessica, I think that's where I'm ending up. I cut out gluten and I've been feeling better. And then 2 days ago, I was like, F it, let's just try gluten to see if that's been the issue. Turns out that day was worse, a fair bit worse. So I'm worried it might be not that. But yeah, I think you understand that then in the morning, once the email came through, basically the thing said like, you also can't take this other medication for at least 36 hours before the test. And I took that medication the day before. Sorry, this essay game has really derailed my storytelling, but the short of the long is that I couldn't take the test anyways. I have to remove it to Saturday. So I had a terrible night last night and I can't take any heartburn medication. I guess we lose. Okay, why did we put orbital on the table? If they run archives, they steal what? 1, 2. He steals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's our play, right? Hope someone dies to measured. With the stone ship seems pretty difficult, but sounds miserable. Yeah, it could be worse for sure. I'm excited that on Saturday I got to do the test in the morning. You have to fast before. I can't take the medication, so I'm off the medication that like moderates my stomach acidity, which means it's gonna be worse. Doing much better now. It's been at least similar to what I've had. I've cut out all gluten, and then I looked at FODMAP lists, cut things like apples and sweet potatoes out to reduce them. Doing much better now. Oh, glad to hear. I'm probably gonna have to ask people for advice because if I'm allergic to gluten, it turns out. Yeah, dude up. Oh, sorry. I'm also vegetarian, and I don't think that's gonna be a good overlap. Like, I think the amount of food that I would be able to eat. Action? Oh, interesting. Yeah, sure. So this has to go back, and I guess we'll get the false lead back. Yeah, a lot of vegetarian things included for sure. So this is going to be destroyed. So yeah, we don't really have a game here. You can find some good things that do both, but they're expensive. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. So there's 5 points in the bin. Scoring the screen mail does nothing. Yeah, this is awful. Holy crap, is this bad? 17 agendas, 16 agendas that don't do anything from archives. Like, they run archives, they win. Draw for spin. Yeah, there's 1 spin in 29. That's the only thing. Beans are okay. Yeah, my stomach has sometimes been iffy around beans. Yeah, good game. But I like beans a lot. Yeah, Indian food has always been my favorite. As a vegetarian, Indian food is just like the best. Please just run archives. Please, metrics go. You got a stone chip. Please run archives. You don't have to do this. Not FODMAP in terms of gluten. Oh, okay. No descent? No, I don't think we want it. This is a BOAC. It might be. So we can still get a spin dock. So they're not running. They just want to not hit. Now we install the board. I mean, I think now we do Angelique false lead, but still they run archives, we lose. The second Spindo got sabotaged. We have one more. Oh no, last Spindo got sabotaged. We have no Spindos. We can't win. Us scoring out is not like a real thing. We should concede. Yeah, that matchup is awful. Mancini was right. Don't play Essa. Okay. Deal with multiple chronic issues, and the most frustrating thing is how like every health issue hits your sleep so much, which makes your health so much worse. Yeah, sleeping was really hard. Like if I lie down, you feel the heartburn, so you have to sleep lying like sitting up, and like obviously it's not super easy. No, I don't care. I mean, our archives is looking a lot like the board deck. Yeah, but we don't have a... I guess if we res the board, we can kind of have something. Okay, good game. Runner's acting? Yeah, sure. No, please run archives. No. Try propping the head of your bed up with bricks. If you have the right kind of bed. I do not have the right kind of bed for that. 15 degrees is usually good. Even if I was on the couch, like this was bad. And the problem is like I'm feeling so tired, like just exhausted. That like I want to lie down more and I can't because it hurts. Take a game. Yeah. At least that was only 7 minutes. Yeah, that's awful. I would not recommend that. This deck is bad. It's really quite bad. Yeah, we got sabotaged a lot. We have a lot of agendas in that deck. There's like 16. That's pretty high for any deck. They definitely make reclining beds, but those cost a penny, I'm sure. It might be time to finance some stuff. Yeah, it's maybe we'll look into it. I'm hoping for the best, that like they can, if this test comes through and they find this sort of bacteria that they're hunting for, they can treat it. If not, if we find out like I'm celiac and can't deal with gluten, that's something you can definitely live with. You can figure that out. But yeah, just trying to figure out what it is as soon as possible has been really frustrating. A lot of this stuff too is like private testing, and it's very expensive. But it has to get done. Best of luck. Thank you, SRN. It's okay. Could be a lot worse. I guess we'll do one more. That sucked. That was really just bad. I don't think I've played a non-game as that non-game in a long time. It's Prof Wacko. All right, 40 card Hoshiko. There was a lot of Hoshiko the last tournaments. Hey, best of luck. Have fun. We haven't seen a mitosis in 2 years. If they top deck a mitosis, his hand is good. Okay. Pretty severe rosacea, and that took a while to get resolved. Definitely was Rudolphing it for a while. Oh, that's, I take it from the name and the Rudolph, what that could possibly mean. Hopefully it's okay. I would have kept that hand. Yeah, maybe we should have. I could see us keeping it. I'm going to ignore centrals. We'll put a Issuaq and start jamming an orbital. Petting jam 2 agendas? Yeah, maybe jam 2 agendas is their play. I just feel like they always take the worst agenda for us, and we're left with a bad agenda. Why are they running HQ 3 times? Why? Why are they doing this? Do they think have they played against a 17 agenda deck? This doesn't make a lot of sense. Why did that happen? That was weird. The thing that makes your face cherry red, much better now. Good to hear. No, we want the Smith Doctor back. Let alone the other thing. They haven't touched a card. They could send it HQ. They've been super aggressive. I guess they played against... I'm assuming the only BANGUN list on JNet right now is running 17 agendas. And running centrals, make sure that they don't get on the table. Maybe it does make sense. I hate this card. It feels so bad to score and do nothing on your turn. I wish it was slightly different. When you score hostile and go up a lot of credits, oh, that's fine for us. I will tithe R&D, I think. We'll draw once. We want 2 ice on this remote server. We probably should have hedge fund first instead of installing a tithe for obvious reasons. I can't take that back. We definitely should have hedge fund first, sorry. Yeah, that really sucks. We'll res this for sure. We'd love to get the credit. Yeah, we definitely should have hedge fund. Yeah, that's awful. Okay, that's a second and a second. It's really hard to hurt those anarchs, huh? Regolith for 3. Okay, we're just waiting to get to game point or to, you know, threat. We have to install credit to be able to res both of these. Because tithe is 1, BOAC is free, but we get 4 back. It's very hard on the health stuff, but I can also, multiple antihistamines can help if gluten issues caused by mast cell activation syndrome. Oh, neat. I don't know anything about that. This is going to hit hard. Yeah, I'm seeing a specialist next week, so I'm assuming we'll run through a bunch of the options. Another steel skin, sick. So the Rising Tide's not that good, but this face check could be real. Deck doesn't seem to give incentive to interact with remotes. This isn't an incentive. That's the BOAC. Did they see a BOAC? Yeah, they did. So they should know what this is. Sick. We don't have to score this. We can just hedge fund. Could have installed the Agenda with the Agenda Leak. We can't afford all of it. I guess you could, as long as we're on 4, but we want to be on 5. So if we install the Agenda Leak, we can't. Because tithe into BOAC is 5 up front, right? This deck isn't on Bladderworks. The other one was. That's good. I could put this on HQ. We're trading both our green mails, which doesn't feel good, but that's their job. So we actually go up credits. Or technically not even. You just res these for free. Banhar's on HQ. That makes sense. We have 2 good trashables here. You get the refund before having to res Angelique. Yeah, but we didn't have 5, so we couldn't res tithe into BOAC, and so BOAC just gets Banhard. We'll be able to res the Angelique, but we can't res both the ice. So twinning sees 2 cards here. We cannot trash measured. Yeah, exactly. We're not on 4 before. Speed Racer, how's it going? I don't think we res the Botulus BOAC. I don't think we do. I want to be on threat soon. Maybe we should. I can't tell. Okay, I didn't use twinning. Why not? Because it puts us off threat? That might be wrong. Keeps from running more turns? I guess, but I'm not that worried. I think every agenda we're going to draw, we're going to put straight into server 2. Like, I think R&D is the server we would want the BOAC on, if anything. Like, we can res this if the Botulus gets trashed for some reason, but like, I don't care about these runs, I don't think. I guess we do if we lose the measured, but that's the only thing we care about. Okay, I'll res it now. Yeah, maybe we could have. You want to tie the BOAC deals 3 into Banhar? And Gen Angelique deals 4? Yeah. That's good. The measured we need to protect. So we'll see if the twinning gets used here. Yeah, it does. Nice. Echelon, okay. We have to install that face up. No matter what, someone's going to be on threat. That seems really important. I think we click for credit. This seems good. They can't really run the server. The BOX's too good. The Angelique we actually might have wanted to keep in hand. I think people over-index and put too many things in their remote server, and nobody runs a remote server. I think losing to R&D is more real. Angelique on R&D probably made more sense. I think putting the Angelique in the matchup is super important. I don't think we did a great job. He's on no money though. So like, no matter what happens next turn, we can trash the twinning measured, trash Banhar, but I think twinning is going to be more important. Yeah, I think the Angelique was an overextension. We could have put it on R&D. Wow, sick. Sometimes you want to hold Angelique in HQ. Yeah, exactly. I think every time I play this matchup, I've been upset with what I've done with Angelique. I think holding it also for the chip damage is important. 2 steel skins are out. Okay, lost. Second twinning and a buzzsaw. Yeah, I agree. Angelique from hand's worth a lot. Okay, still haven't seen the measured, I don't think. Might want to cash in the twinning on this turn, which like we could lose to that. I guess with divested, it's nearly impossible. And I guess with the divested, we want the BOAC resed. Yeah, man, Angelique and hand would have been really mattered. Because then we can kill on 4. And I don't think we have a reason that Wacko would be below 5 cards. Yeah, I really don't like what we did with this. The server's so safe behind BOAC. Unless he's considering it? Well, then he just dies to measured. Let alone end the line. Let alone BOAC. Like, you can't break BOAC. Okay, going for it. Okay, last steel skin. Good to know. Sing 2. Nothing. Saw he clocked the BOAC on the remote, but still installed botches on the HQ ice. Yeah, but we installed this before this came down. We win. Good game. So do we res the BOAC? I don't think we do. Oh, the leech counters are good. Because you break it for 3. We can just res it, but we just win anyways. Because you're going to end up on a tag. You're going to take 4 damage here, yeah. Clean. So the Angelique was necessary. If we didn't have the Angelique, we would have lost. Weird. Results oriented. But yeah, Angelique actually was important. I'm so surprised he went for this. No, we shouldn't have done that. Wait. No, we have to kill no matter what. But that actually turned off measured, which is so funny. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We have tag. We have tag. Yeah, I forgot Bangun gives a tag. Yep. If we didn't have the end of line, we have to give the agenda there. Good game. Yeah, they totally messed up. Yeah. I have the measured too, but then I had to. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But we almost goofed it. AGG. That was kind of sick. Like, that is fun. Okay, thanks for the game. Like, we drew really smoothly. That was very smooth. Cheers. Like, I want to do one more. This is really weird for Bangun to want to play one more. I think the end of line is so good. What if we cut the mitosis? No shot. Because then we're just going to build everyone's Bangun list. And then, like, why would we have 17 agendas? We haven't hit it in 2 games? Yeah, that means we'll hit it in the 3rd game. You can't always not hit it, right? Look at this hand. Perfect. We'll top deck an agenda mitosis into Zaya. We're not going to get transferred. Thanks, you too. Gotta believe. This card's so good. It's like why I want to play the deck. Okay, so I don't think we do it. I think we do petty cash draw. No, I think we just do petty cash tithe credit. No, we could do petty cash draw tithe. And the games have been the ones where we don't draw mitosis. Yeah, where we just have to be jammy. I agree. Don't hit our above the law. Oh my god, don't hit our above the law. Don't hit our above the law. Don't hit our above the law. Pinhole, doesn't matter. Don't hit our above the law. Hit the mitosis. Sick. That's a lot of money she has. Like, now we're weak to transfer. But transfer gives a tag. Oh, that's good. That's not a good turn to mitosis after she class acts. It'd be so easy. Chat, do you think we mitosis above the law divested into a class act? We can put the BOAC on the above the law. I'm going to do it. It's fun. It's better than not playing cards. I know we can't res this, but our opponent doesn't know. Transfer means we can still score out. But unfortunately, starting with 6 cards means she can probably throw some cards. I do think Criminal is a bit worse at just like taking damage. Yeah, good. So we took a card out of hand and 2 credits. Boomerang the BOAC. That's fine. Not that we can res it, but like, if she takes this, fine. Second class act, sick. That's good play. And the bravado, hold on. She's gaming. Lost to Hermes. Lost transfer. Clean. 5 cards in hand, not even a dent. We get the divested trust, which is pretty good. And then we can actually res the BOAC, which does end the run. Something like that. So now we have a divested. Admittedly, our money's bad. But measured is a threat. No. We need more money. Oh, sorry. We're gonna get the Shatlander on RD. I don't think I love resing this unless we draw money. Okay, we're good. We can res most of the stuff. We just need to make sure Zaya's not getting free run value. Spin Doctor might be contested. If it is, we'll just shuffle back the 1 mitosis and be happy with our life. You can't couplate an agenda, so mitosis will be annoying. We haven't drawn Corden in a long time, but we've been drawing like 6 cards a game. Maybe we should have divested the false lead. It probably was worth jamming behind the BOAC. I regret our options. Because like if she steals an agenda, we won't divest of the next one. Maybe we want to just like never divest it until she's on threat 4. That's good. We res this to go down to 1? Yeah, I think so. I don't want to show what this is. We hit another Hermes. That's good. She probably doesn't have any more. We don't want to spin Doctor back first. Steals a measured. Fine. We have enough. Click for credits, gang. Top deck Regolith, still ugly. I think we just click for 3. We want to set up a mitosis. I don't think she can afford to go this Shylandra unless she has multi-access. So maybe like a jailbreak? I think we mitosis Eminent and another card. It's actually pretty rough because we have divested. And we'll have money for double measured. Oh no, we won't because mitosis costs 3. There goes our money. We probably should advance the Aket. Oh, that's an ugly hand to have to break up. So Revolver shoots the BOAC for 4 credits. She has a lot of money. We need to make her spend money. Or we need to force double measured. We could do credit mitosis to Eminence and see what she does, but she can touch all of them because we don't have money to threaten anything. In theory, if she throws one of them, we can divested. Yeah, maybe we just with divested, we can do this play. It's a funny play. And I'm cool with the funny play. This is a very funny play. Like, that is cursed. So she really wants to deal with both of these. She'll definitely get one. We'll return the other one to HQ. Yeah, this is weird, isn't it, Scrub? Clean getaway? I mean, yeah, that's fine. Fuck, she's on steel skin? Okay, so if you steal this one, we have 5 credits and you'll be on threat. She has $16 though, so we have to like triple measure it somehow. Money's an issue. This is good money. Like all the other decks have not had that much money. She has to clear the tag though, so we do get one Eminent. Eminent. That seems good. I guess we get a BOAC. We're gonna forfeit this to res that BOAC, probably. At this point, we don't have anything great to take, but we just want to make her run this and spend money. So this is 4, and then this is 8, unless she fires a subroutine, which she can't really afford to. That being said, we won't have money, so we'll see what happens here. I think we're out 2 bravados. Yeah, 2 bravados. Most of her money is out. 3 gambles on Iru. Holy crap. She's gonna be on 2 tags? Do we have a line there when she was floating a tag? Oh, this is tag me Zaya? Oh, this is the Iru. Sorry, I thought this was Praxis. So we could have spin doctored back here. So she cleared a tag. Okay, so we have to Eminent to get something on archives. Oh, she's going to Eero. Could you get to a stay where you score enough? You forfeit enough to not have enough agendas? No, unfortunately not. Yeah, 3rd BOAC would be good here. I think we just get a Shylendra on archives. That's the best we have. A Ket is okay, but I think Shylendra is just annoying enough. And we don't need it to be impossible. We just need to be annoying. We have to jam the Regolith next turn. All right. We're going to throw the Copulation. If she has enough money, we lose Measured. So we're in a bad spot. At least the Spin Doctor's still on the table. This matchup's been interesting. But I do think this might be... Ooh, her money's not good. This is what, break for 3? So here she can't trash Measured, so we're actually totally happy with this. If she scores the Orbital, she could win this turn, I guess? She'll make up to like 5 credits back with Zaya, which is unfortunate. But she sees the whole hand. Give us $1. Yeah. We need that so we can do credit Measured. It's a very important $1. Let's see if she uses Copulation on top of this. She might not. She did. So we could just lose here if she sends it through the Shylendra. That's scary. The best we could do is credit Measure, which is not enough. So this is bad. We just need to make money. We need to threaten double Measured. And even then, that's not lethal. She keeps 5 cards. I think we're cooked here. So the thing is, Shylendra does to end a line. No, she's not tagged. Well, if she Eros, but she can just run R&D. Like here, we so easily lose to like jailbreak R&D. Oh, Docklands that run HQ. Half the time we lose that. This ID text is not good. We QC song. I don't think this is really good. When you're in game point, it's pretty bad. I don't know if I like these orbitals. Maybe an Uzief is better. I can't tell. It's a strong ability. But like she needs to mess up here. We're really bad at making her mess up. Chesva credit. Okay, she didn't run. I think we just score this to get out of hand. Me and any events that get cut is actually worthwhile against Kurapira. I think we need to keep our money up. It's not bad, that's for sure. So we get over advanced and throw. We get overdrawn throughout the orbital. That's probably the game plan because there's not a lot of 2-pointers in the deck. We need to get this out of hand. Okay, that's better. Yeah, in general, it's worth it. But hopefully the Shylenders do it. Last, yeah, this is late. We've got the lights are going to turn off at some point. Transfer, that's acceptable. Yeah, I think she'll boomerang the Aket. Because she can't charge Kurapir off the triple advance Aket. I just like, we're worse off running R&D. So she'd be on, what, 8, but she clears the tag? Oh, she hit the green mail. That sucks. I guess she saw 2 cards there and gets 2 credits. Draw. She has to draw if she loses. Oh, we lost a Measured? Oh, she had Measured agenda. That's terrible for us. So the only way that we win, it's not possible. The most we can do is... Oh no, we win. We do win. Oh yeah, we just win. Oh no, she has Steel Skins. Oh, never mind. Oh, oops. I didn't realize they're all in the bin. They have GG. Close one. Thanks for the game. I mean, it's fine. I don't know if this would be better than BANGUN. It kind of mattered until you're losing on centrals, and there's a lot of centrals pressure there. But the regolith was really important. Yeah, I was gonna like use the spin doctor to shuffle back in. I thought we had to do like 5 damage, so we had to like top deck an Angelique, but no, yeah, playing 2 measured is totally fine. Yeah, she was on game point. I think getting the 2 point out of the hand was the most important thing that we could have done there. We just had to get it out of the hand. The rest of the deck, not that many agendas left. Legitimately not that many agendas left in the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. BANGUN is peak loose essentials, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Eero is like a bit clumsy against us, and the Shylanders are just like hard to go through. They're pretty good. I don't know. I feel like playing. This card seems so annoying. It just seems really annoying. I don't think in this deck because we can't afford to trash things, but it seems really annoying. I don't know if I like the orbitals, but the problem is like agendas. It's really hard. You need to play agendas, and I guess this does do something. I hate the design of Anvil. Oh, it's cursed. It's definitely cursed. In Omp, it's super, super cursed. Play your 100 card deck. We won more than we lost with this deck. We had some like really bad non-games though, where it's like we have no chance of winning. I do think the changes we made make sense. I think playing the bad 3-1s is not worth it. The mitosis is still like so good. I would argue you want to play all of them because it's the best thing. If we drew a Corden there, I think it gives us some play in their remote server. Because I think the important thing with Corden is they have to spend money and it protects all centrals. That's good. Money's bad in the deck. If you can fix the money, I think the deck is something. Ice Sweet is okay. I don't know if we need more ice than this. The bad things, we have no hard to end the run besides the Issuaq, and we've been seeing that in early games having just like a cheap. Oh no, we have a Kets. Never mind, we're fine. We're fine. Orbital had the grade 4 class game. Yeah, the Orbital was fine. Yeah, this is fine. Cool. That was fun. Glad we did that. Really glad we did that. Thanks so much for those hanging out. This is a late one. The lights are off, so I look a bit different. But thanks to all these names here and more that support the Metropole Grid so we can do stuff like this. All the streaming and content. I know content hasn't been big on this channel. We've been sticking to our 2 streams a week. But yeah, things are a bit rough right now. Hopefully things will get better in the near future. Shout out to all these names here and more. We also have all of our daily cast patrons. Their names are unfortunately not here, but any amount of support really helps this channel out. If you want to take a second and leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, that helps a heck of a lot as well. See everyone in Vancouver, Canada. You going out there? Shout out to Lost My Thumbs, who started supporting at the Sure Gamble tier just, I feel, earlier this week. Got the edit in there. Good luck with everything. Thank you, Roshni. Yeah, this weekend is Vancouver Megacities. We'll have the link to the stream down below. I don't know if it's streaming all 3 days or just 2 days, but it'll be twitch.tv/SindarinRP. So that should be this weekend. Also, it is APAC Continentals that I believe starts for us, or for me, Friday night tomorrow. If you're playing in that, best of luck, have fun. That should be streamed from the Null Signal Games Twitch and YouTube channel, or at this point it might just be YouTube. Shout out to YouTube streaming. It's so much better because the VOD is up. We've lost so many good Netrunner tournaments to Twitch, unfortunately. But that'll be this weekend, and then I don't know if the Eternal tournament is going to be streamed on the weekend as well, but got some event exclusive tokens coming with. Oh, super cool. Hope we make some progress. Yeah, hoping to get that test done on a Saturday, and then Wednesday will be a big day next week. But thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you're doing well, and we'll see you in the next one.